Test, test. Will the chain crew please report to the far side of the field? Chain crew, please report to the far side of the field.
Pretty dramatic, isn't it? We do have some for well, do we have somebody? Hey guys. Ginnivan? Ginnivan?
Uh-huh.
Ishamura?
Ishamura.
Ishamura?
There's two of them. 8 and 56.
Clothier?
Clothier, yes.
Ishamura, yeah. Strand Mason, okay. Dumb to say that after the first bite, but
Frontenac coach Mark Smith, thanks for talking with us. Good luck in Kansas City against Harmon. We'll talk to you after the game.
If you're in the mood for shopping, visit Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall. Pittsburgh's original one-stop shopping center has a lot to offer. A great variety of clothing and shoes for the whole family, a large selection of gifts, sporting goods, events, and entertainment, plus terrific places to eat, and you can enjoy the newest movies in 8 theaters. Shop the comfortable and convenient atmosphere at Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall. There's always something happening at Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall.
Advanced technology, comprehensive quality care. That's Canar Eye Care. We have the newest technology, but we never lose sight of what's most important, our patients. Eye care has changed dramatically in recent years, and we've been there for you every step of the way. At Canar Eye Care, patients spend time with doctors. Total eye care from contact lenses, including bifocal contacts, treatment of disease, and surgical co-management. Canar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers. Jocksnitch has all your hometown needs to get you geared up for the football game. New Pitt State gear has already arrived, such as hats, tees, sweatshirts, license plates, koozies, and even tees for your dog. We are your stop to make before headed to tailgate. There's only one Gorilla Nation, and there's only one Gorilla Gear headquarters, Jocksnitch Sporting Goods. Check us out in downtown Pittsburgh and Park.
You got the sports look of the day. Sporting Goods from Jocksnitch.
Rob Strand back with Randy Southard. We're at Kansas City Harmon High School as the Hawks playing host to the Frontenac Raiders, and should be an interesting contest as the Hawks and Raiders both, in the bowels of Anderson Stadium here, getting some final comments from their coaches on this homecoming at Harmon. And we go in, the Harmon Hawks at 0-4. They opened with a 28-8 loss to Sumner, then fell to Wyandotte 34-0. Hogan Prep 55-8, and El Dorado 55-0. They are at Atchison next Friday. The Frontenac Raiders at 2-2 beat Girard 33-6, lost to Galena 28-21, then shut out by Colgan 20-0, and then beat Riverton 60-12. And the Raiders play host to Labette County next Friday. So that's about halfway through the season, and one team 2-2, the other at 0-4. But decisive size, enrollment size here. But it should be an interesting contest that both teams should be able to benefit from this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think about it, the Raiders taking a long trip. Normally we don't take anything like this unless we make a deep run into the playoffs, like last year having to go to Holton. So, this could help prepare for a later run, being used to the long road trip. Playing a bigger school, they're going to have some athletes that, we might not necessarily have seen, down around home, being up here in the big city. So I think it's a good test. I don't think this is a team that we should take lightly tonight. I'm actually a little concerned about that maybe some of the players think that this is going to be a cakewalk. And, boy, the second you do that, next thing you know, you're in a dogfight. Really like to see the Raiders come out and put it to them early and end this thing quick.
And you see the 5A school, there's, the enrollment size is dramatic, about Frontenac with about a fifth of the enrollment, and that's a big pool to draw from. And they've got some good-looking athletes out there, and it should be an interesting contest on homecoming as the Harmon band comes to the track to perform prior to kickoff of this homecoming contest. And we'll be back after we take a 2-minute break. 2 minutes. You're listening to Frontenac football on 103.5 FM.
At Lindbergh Pharmacy, we care about your health. From a qualified and caring staff to services like our Time My Meds and MedPack programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our text alert program, and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
When you get engaged and need to pay for the wedding, when you have a baby and need to start that college savings account, it seems like the best moments in life can come with some real financial challenges. What's yours? At Commerce Bank, we find solutions so you can focus on enjoying life. Visit us online at commercebank.com or at a branch near you. Commerce Bank, challenge accepted. Member FDIC.
And our national anthem prior to kickoff this game between Frontenac and Harmon. and our national anthem by the Harmon High School Marching Band prior to kickoff for this homecoming contest as the Frontenac Raiders and the Harmon Hawks ready to do it to it. And I guess with some of the keys to tonight's contest, here's Randy Southard.
All right, for the Frontenac Raiders on offense tonight, I think the keys are no penalties, no turnovers tonight. Take care of the ball and don't shoot yourself in the foot. It's been a problem in some of the games of the Raiders' losses. Too many penalties and then a key turnover. So let's take care of the ball. And then Harmon will like to play a lot of man-to-man on the outside, and I think that's something the Raiders can take advantage of. They should have a size advantage with Ginnivan on the outside. Pick those corners up and then go double moves deep. Defensively for Frontenac, use their quickness up front to try to get penetration, get in that backfield, mess up any running plays that they want to try to go with, but then also pressure on the quarterback. Harmon has had some turnover problems, some offensive line problems so far this year, so you want to get that penetration, get everything stopped before they can get anything going. For Harmon offensively, I think they need to try to run the ball first. They've got some athletes that they can possibly, they can find some holes, they can get something going. So I think they want to run it first, and then that sets up the passing game for them. Defensively for Harmon, they've had some tackling issues on the defensive side of the ball. They've got to improve that tackling, or it could be another long night for them.
So those are some of the keys to tonight's contest. And if you look at the Raiders' 2-2 season to this point, the opener a 33-6 win over Girard, and last week a 60-12 win over Riverton, and sandwiched that around a 28-21 loss to Galena and a 20-0 shutout loss to Colgan. Both those contests, you had 4 turnovers were huge in those games, and that's basically what you got to try to avoid is putting the ball on the turf.
Absolutely. Take care of the ball, and then the penalties. Against Colgan in particular, the penalties were, got out of hand. And it really stopped some drives where Frontenac still had a chance to get back in the game. If they didn't, but they get the penalties, stalls out drives, and then it's over.
And we mentioned in the turf, nice facility here at Anderson Stadium, and boy, a nice playing turf. Should be pretty quick, and on a beautiful night for football. Looking forward to this one. And now with the starting lineups again, Randy Southard.
All right, for KC Harmon Hawks on defense, they go with a 5-2. At the nose guard is a junior, Cordell Meeks. The 2 tackles is junior Tato Lozano and sophomore Sebastian Navarro. The 2 defensive ends, stand-up defensive ends, you have sophomore Terrence Johnson and sophomore Isaiah Rush. The 2 middle linebackers, a freshman Jordan Ingram and a sophomore Jose Arambula. The 2 cornerbacks is sophomore Shannon Robinson and senior Rudy Ramirez. And the 2 safeties is a freshman Raymond Holloway and a junior Marlo Bowens. Lots of freshmen, sophomores in that lineup, if you noticed. For the Frontenac Raiders on offense, at center, senior Jordan Ishimura. The 2 guards, senior Dylan Toll and senior Nathan Kaufman. The 2 tackles, senior Trey Harris and senior Cal Strand. Starting tight end, senior Zach Roseborough. 2 wide receivers, senior Brock Ginnivan and junior Brendan Ishimura. Starting fullback is senior Cooper Loy. The starting tailback is senior Jake Wilbert. And the starting quarterback for the Raiders, senior Peyton Brown.
Captains in the middle of the field, the Frontenac Raiders, Brock Ginnivan, along with Peyton Brown, also Jordan Ishimura and Cal Strand. For the Harmon Hawks, Terrence Johnson, along with Marlo Bowens, also Quincy Adams and Jose Arambula. And the white hat talking to the captains, the Raiders in their visiting white jerseys with black pants, black helmets with white trim. And the Hawks in their purple jerseys, white pants with purple helmets and white trim. And the Hawks won the toss. They defer. They'll have to try to start the second half. And the Frontenac Raiders want the football. So the Raiders will be on offense to start things off against the Harmon Hawks. And should be a good one. Looking forward to this one. And, of course, prelude is next week. The Raiders return home to take on Labette County. So
Labette County with a big game tonight, hosting Fort Scott, big rivalry game, and probably the battle for the CNC title, although Coffeyville off to a good start this year in the SEK as well.
Yes, indeed, and Coffeyville with, Galena, I believe tonight, in an interleague battle. And then big one in CNC next week is Galena and also Columbus will battle. So that should be interesting.
We'll be keeping an eye on tonight's game, Colgan hosting Girard. We're trying to keep an eye on that. Galena and Coffeyville tonight as well. Pittsburgh and Andover Central. So some of the games that I'll be trying to keep track of, if I can get any scores, we'll pass them along.
And again, all the Raiders contest on 103.5 FM and stream live at ESPN1007.com. You can also see the live stream of all the Colgan, Pittsburgh, and Girard games. So the Hawks to the near side, Raiders on the far side, visiting side, and not many numbers here for Harmon, but like you said too, a lot of underclassmen getting valuable playing time, and that bodes well for the future. And we mentioned that this team's bumping up to 6A. And
seen a few kids not dressed. You know, some of the upperclassmen that they do have not dressed tonight. Injuries, one completely missing, not even apparently on the field that was a starter at least in film. So they're without a few starters and replacing them with freshmen basically.
And a nice crowd, and didn't feel a little bit like football weather. It was, like I said, it'll probably be about in the 60s by the time we get into the middle of the contest.
Yeah, the heat should not be any kind of an issue for the game tonight.
And with all these luxuries I have up here, I can probably tell you what the temperature is if you're listening or watching at home. They're talking 75 right now, and by end of the contest, I'll be flirting with into the 60s. So yeah, it's cooling off, feeling a little more like football weather, and
no wind tonight here in Kansas City, so wind shouldn't affect any part of the game, kicking game, passing game, nothing like that. So it's a perfect night for football, really.
And I was trying to see, it looked like a lot of folks made the and good crowd on homecoming for Harmon.
Now, this opening kickoff, Harmon has shown that they will onside kick at any time. I'm sure that's something coaches did not miss, and something that they're going to have the front line for the Raiders, be very aware of. Don't take off too early. Watch for that onside kick.
And back to receive the kick for the Frontenac Raiders drops Brendan Ishimura, flanked by Alex Johnson, and also back in there is Brant Chance. And teeing it up at the 40-yard line for the Harmon Hawks is Michael Jacobo. He was doing double duty as he was playing one of the horns in the band there during the national anthem. So, and actually, they're going to bring it on the near hash mark. So, like you said, they haven't been hesitant to try the onside kick. So, one contest they opened the game with it, and it was successful.
Yes.
You got to be prepared on that up line. We're ready for football. Frontenac and Harmon. Hawks homecoming and the Raiders. As far as we know, this is the only time we played Harmon. And again, Jacobo from the 40-yard line. Ishimura back along with Chance and Johnson. Hawks crowd up near side. Yep, onside kick, and it goes out of bounds. And I think we're going to have an offside, if I'm not mistaken. One of the Hawks a little antsy across the 40 before it was kicked, and I guess is that one where you can just
I don't know if you
decline?
can tack this on, if you can tack it on, or if you just decline it and take the ball where it is.
Ball went out to 41. I don't think I'd let them kick it again. I'd take it right there.
Well, they picked the ball up as if they're just going to mark the penalty off.
Well, yeah, it is. Now,
Frontenac should be able to. I have not seen anyone ask Coach Smith, what he wanted to do with the penalty.
Well, they're going to tee it up at the 35 after the mark off, and
kind of a strange start.
I think I'd take it at the 41, but they didn't ask me. So we'll do it again. Teeing it up is Michael Jacobo. He's a sophomore. This time from the 35. And another short kick, and it's taken by one of the upbacks, and right midfield falls on it.
Yeah, Alex Story, and a good job. Didn't try to do too much with it. They're giving you field position at the 50. Just secure that ball, go down. A very good job by Story.
Story, the 6', 185-pound freshman in that front line.
He's got some good speed, but I like the decision. Just take the ball right there, right at midfield.
So 1st and 10. Raiders, they'll start from their own 50-yard line, and the chain's going the wrong way. Hey, having a stumbling start here now. We got to get the chains going the other way. There we go. Get them stretched, and we're ready for football. Raiders from midfield, out of the gun. Peyton Brown, the senior quarterback. Running back there is Jake Wilbert behind him. And to his right is Cooper Loy. Now switches to the left side. Wide outs both sides. Low snap. Option left side. He's got some room. Does Wilbert. 45, 40, 30, 20. Could go 10. And he steps out near the 10-yard line and no flags.
Well, really good job with the option. The option off the end. They don't block the stand-up end. Brown runs right at him. Pitches it very well. Ginnivan with a great stock block on the outside. And then Cooper Loy got out there and led the way. And he got to the free safety. 2 excellent blocks downfield and a big play on the first play of the game.
So first and goal, Raiders from the Hawks 9-yard line. Wide to the right, splits Hessong. Wide to left is Chastain. In the slot left, Wilbert. Out of the gun, Brown. Lloyd the blocking back to his right side. Motion left to right, Wilbert. And they ride him. Brown's going to keep it up the middle, 5, and he is going to go in for the score. Peyton Brown scores from 9.
Yeah, they go with the zone read off the motion. Peyton Brown reading the end stayed to the outside for the guy for like the jet sweep type of action. He pulls it, finds a big hole on the right side of the offensive line. Good job up front, able to make one cut and get into the end zone, but a really good read by Peyton Brown to keep that ball and take it himself.
So the extra point attempt out of the hold of Jake Wilbert and Trey Harrison. Good snap, gets placement down, kick plenty long enough, and it is good. 11:44 remaining first quarter. Frontenac leads Harmon 7-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
Paynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist. Paynes handles all driveline repairs for cars, trucks, four-wheel drive vehicles, and farm equipment. Paynes can also handle any general machine work and offers 24-hour record service. Call Paynes anytime, 231-3170. Paynes Incorporated is located at the intersection of West McKay and Highway 69 Frontenac Junction. Paynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist.
Proud supporter of Frontenac Athletics.
The City of Frontenac is a proud supporter of Frontenac High School athletics and academics. The City of Frontenac was founded in 1886 and is home to just over 3,100 residents. Frontenac citizens enjoy a small-town atmosphere and all that a close-knit community has to offer. Situated on the crossroads of 2 major highways, those living in Frontenac can easily travel and enjoy the amenities of larger cities in a shorter travel distance. The community boasts an outstanding school system, low taxes, complete city services, including 24-hour police and fire protection. Good luck, Raiders, from the mayor, city council, and staff.
And the kickoff by Trey Harris goes into the end zone. It was actually taken by Terrace Johnson, head out, but he stepped back into the end zone, so it'll be a touchback, and the Hawks will start from their own 20-yard line. So a 50-yard two-play drive, one a 41-yard run by Wilbert, the other a 9-yard touchdown run by Brown, the extra point by Harris, and the Raiders lead at 7-0, 11:44 left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, exactly the kind of start the Raider offense needed, and I like the 2 plays for the touchdown, but the best part was they were on the ground. Good blocking up front, no one getting through the offensive line, no pressure in the backfield. Big hole on the touchdown run for Brown to run through, so a good sign for that offensive line of Frontenac in the start of this game.
So the Hawks will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. The quarterback is Chris Young. He is a senior. And the running back is Cordell Meeks. There's a give. That's big. Nothing doing as he is. What did the ball come out of there? Leg. Boy, come up with the football. The Raiders have it. They coughed up the football.
Yeah, and it's Drew Cummings getting the start on the defensive line tonight. The senior usually comes in off the bench, but he gets the start, and he just stuck the fullback as they ran the dive, and the ball pops out. Lloyd jumps on it, but boy, Cummins with a heck of a play on the defensive line.
So 1st and 10 Raiders, and they'll start from the Hawks' 20-yard line, leading 7-0 with 11:39 left here in the first quarter. Wide to the right, left comes Ginnivan, joined out there by Ishimura. Slot to the right is Lloyd. Now he shifts to the left side. Running back behind Brown is Wilbert. And a quick hitch to Ginnivan. He avoids one tackler inside the 10. 5 gets a block, and he's going to go for the score. 20 yards Pitch and catch from Brown to Ginnivan.
Well, it's 2-on-2 on the outside. Man coverage. They got two DBs over there. But there's a cushion. So you throw it to him real quick. A good stock block by Ishimura out there to take care of one DB. Leaves Ginnivan with the size mismatch again that he's going to always have. Big man out there. Breaks one tackle, able to take down the sideline for the score.
And the extra point attempt coming up out of Wilbert's hold. Trey Harris. And a good snap, gets placement down. That kick up, play it long enough, it's good. 11:32 left first quarter. Frontenac leads at 14-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
If you are injured in an accident or on the job, it is vitally important that you hire the right attorney. Before choosing an attorney, you should make sure they have the resources to fight large corporations or insurance companies. Your attorney should have extensive trial court experience and a track record of success. The Spigarelli Law Firm, with offices in Pittsburgh and Coffeyville, has the experience, resources, and reputation to provide the quality representation your claim deserves. Fred Spigarelli has received the top rating from his peers with the Martindale-Hubbell Independent Rating System. His firm has the resources to hire the experts and physicians needed to properly present your claim. The Spigarelli Law Firm has successfully tried cases for over 40 years and taken numerous cases all the way to the Supreme Court. Call the Spigarelli Law Firm today at 877-409-7931 or visit their website at spigarelli-law.com. You can also find them fast in names and numbers. Be sure to get reliable information when you choose an attorney to represent you.
And Rob came back with Randy Southard and missed the kickoff. Was the return by Terrence Johnson for the Hogs out to the Harmon 21-yard line with the 11:26 left first quarter in Frontenac, the 14-0 lead. And again, the quarterback is Chris Young. And the fullback set behind him is Cordell Meeks. Got slots to both sides, motion left, right, and there's a give. And being brought down is Terrence Johnson. Luke Alstrand got around his ankles down there, brought him down after gain of a couple.
Yeah, good job coming in from that defensive end position. Sees the run go up the middle, comes on down. Defensive tackles last game had a really good game for the Raiders. So far in this one, first two plays on defense, defensive tackles playing well as also getting a little penetration and stumping everything in their hole, allowed Strand to come down from the end and make the play.
2nd and 8 for the Hawks from their own 23-yard line. Now two in motion. There's got to be a penalty. There is, and they try right up the middle, and Cummins along with Loy throws down Meeks, but out about the 26, but I think we're going to have a 5-yard mark-off go against the Hawks as two men were in motion.
Yeah, and I'm sure Frontenac will go ahead and take this, push him back, make it 2nd and long rather than 3rd, and it would have been about 3rd and 3 or so, so you go ahead and take it, push him back, 2nd and long.
After the mark-off, the football resting at the Harmon 18, where the Hawks will face a 2nd and 13. 10:44, clock moving here in the first quarter. Frontenac, the 14-0 lead. Raiders off the quick start, and now the defense trying to hold the Hawks offense. Now it splits to both sides, slots to both sides. Young under the center with Meeks the fullback. Looking to pass over the middle, and it is nice catch. As coming down with that catch was Terrence Johnson, and I believe he got the first down. Defenders were there, but they just didn't get it.
Yeah, just a kind of a seam run, almost like a tight end hot, really. Gets behind one linebacker who was running with him, had very decent coverage, and then Ishimura came over and almost got the pick, just barely missed it, and took a heck of a grab to make that catch and get the first down.
1st and 10 Hawks from their own 32-yard line. Coming wide to the right is Rudy Ramirez. Out wide to the left goes Zavon Sutton. And there's a give, and trying the left side. Now another penalty flag is down as Terrence Johnson stopped at the 34 after a gain of a couple.
Yeah, I think they had two men moving before the snap again. They had one man in motion, then I think they had one other move a little early, so two men in motion before the snap.
So it'll be a 1st and 15 for the Hawks from their own 27-yard line.
Yeah, I tell you though, I like this Terrence Johnson. They've got him listed in the program as an athlete, not necessarily generally a position. young player, just a sophomore, good size but good strength, has the ability to make some people miss as well.
I got a couple, actually trips to the left side, one right, single setback, and looking to throw and putting it up for grabs, and the pass intended, trying to see who was the intended receiver, and I believe that was Stefan Simmons, and Cooper Loy sniffed that out and actually popped Simmons pretty good, but no harm, no foul. Got up and shook hands, said nice cover there.
And Cooper Loy thinking about the big hit, but if he'd looked for the ball, he might have been able to catch that one. I think it whizzed right by his ear as the errant throw goes right by him, but he was thinking, oh, I'm going to light him up.
Second, 15, Hawks from their own 27-yard line. Wideouts to both sides, slots to both sides. Again, Meeks, the fullback, behind the quarterback. Young looking to throw. He's pressured. Rolls right, able to turn the corner, and then he is finally pushed out of bounds about the 35-yard line. And boy, he got the corner turned, is lost contain there, and is able to turn it into about a 7-yard gain.
Well, instant pressure up front, and it was Cummins, Mays, and Ginnivan. Ginnivan allowed him to get to the outside just a little bit and couldn't quite outrun him. Got one push on him to get him out of bounds before the safety had to come over to make a play. But instant pressure again, defensive tackles especially, doing a heck of a job right now early in this one.
3rd and 8 for the Hawks from their own 33-yard line. As wide to the left goes Terrence Johnson. Out wide to the right side, Rudy Ramirez. Again, slots to both sides. Again, Meeks the fullback behind Young, who's under the center. Looking to throw again. Quick hitch, left side. And, boy, nothing there. Nice defensive effort there. Trying to see who came up and made the stop. Was that Riley McDaniel, and actually threw him for a couple-yard loss.
Well, a really good read, and came up really hard because they had trips to that side. So their other two wide receivers are going to come out to lead block on that quick little hitch. But Riley McDaniel, good read, got up there before the blockers could get to him. And as soon as the receiver caught it, he put him down.
So a 4th and 12 for the Hawks from their own 30-yard line. Punting situation, they usually quarterback gets snap, drops back a little, and then punts it. So back there is Chris Young. Of course, that gives you the option to maybe do a fake, and they're shy a player. Trying to, not seeing the play clock right now. Saying, hurry it up, let's go. It is a punting. Oh, and off the side of the foot. Shank to get away. You got to look, boys. They're looking around. You got to get away from the football, know where it is. In any event, it's down at the Hawks' 35-yard line.
Well, and that came very close to hitting a Raider player who just didn't look up. He just was looking around, didn't see where the ball was. Came close, which if it hits him and Harmon falls on it, would have been a first down for Harmon. So Raiders get a little bit of a break.
8:27 left here in the first quarter. Frontenac leads at 14-0. Raiders have the football, 1st and 10 from the Hawks' 35-yard line. Given wide left. Out wide right is Ishamir. Running backs in the eye now behind quarterback Peyton Brown, who's under the center. He drops the snap, and boy, he's going to have to eat it. He thought about trying to get it to Wilbert. Apparently the play designed to get to the tailback, but wiser to hang on to it, avoid the turnover, lose the 5, and go 2nd and 15 or 16 from the 41.
Yeah, just didn't get the snap clean, and it threw everything off. And then a little bit of penetration up front got to him quickly. And, well, I tell you, they marked it back where they threw him down, not where he was first initially contacted. Kind of a tough break on the spot.
2nd and 16, Raiders from the Hawks' 41-yard line. Brown rolling left, gets a block from Lloyd, looking to go long, got a man open, and it is underthrown, and it's caught by Wilbert down at the 15-yard line. Boy, if it had been a little longer, that was a score, but did well and picked up big yardage on the deflection.
Really good concentration by Wilbert. The ball underthrown slightly, and the defender really probably had a chance to catch it with two hands, but he went up with one and deflected it. Wilbert able to make the adjustment, makes the diving catch for the big play. Tell you, good block, Cooper Loy on the outside. Good lead block to give Peyton Brown plenty of time.
Raiders 1st and 10 from the Hawks' 16-yard line. Brown out of the gun. Loy blocking back right. Motion left to right goes Ishimura. There's a give to Ishimura, trying to turn the corner. Has the corner turn, needs a block. Gets inside the 10-5. Touchdown. He went out of bounds just short of the goal line, about the 1, or he lost the football. Touchdown. They give him a score.
Yeah, the officials were talking about it as far as when did he cross the goal line and then lose the ball, or did he lose the ball first? Because, of course, if he hadn't crossed the goal line or been out of bounds and loses the ball, it's a touchback, and Harmon would have taken over. But they talked about it, a good job of communication, said that he crossed the goal line before the ball came out.
So Brendan Ishimura, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the extra point attempt coming off the foot of Trey Harris out of the hold of Jacob Wilbert. Raiders trying to have this 20-0 lead. And this kick is good. 7:33 remaining first quarter. Frontenac leads Harmon 21-0. We're going to keep it here while we can enjoy some of the sights and sounds of homecoming here at Harmon. And the Raiders couldn't ask for a better start.
Yeah, tailor-made for them. Defense playing well. Offense doing their job. Excellent blocking right now. The only negative play for the Raider offense was kind of a bobbled snap. Everything else, the touchdown plays have all been blocked very well up front with the line, but also the receivers and backs getting really good blocks on the outside. That's how you get those really big plays. And for Harmon, it's the turnovers. Just the turnovers have plagued them all year. And so far, a big turnover tonight set up one score, and then just the Raider defense taking care of them on the other drive.
And that was difficult about those when you're kind of isolated on those blocks is to stay away from the hold. It's hard to hold the block for that long, but they've been doing a good job. And the Raiders out to a 21-0 lead with 7:33 left here in the first quarter. Trey Harris to kick off. Back to receive the kick for the Hawks is Terrence Johnson, the good-looking sophomore, stands at the goal line. Again, high end-over-end kick. Johnson retreats just short of the end zone, and he brings it near sides, got some room, and then he's hemmed in, brought down shy of the 20. So good cover, gang tackle there, and nice coverage by the Raiders.
Yeah, good job. Stayed in their lanes very nicely, just gave him no place to go at all. Excellent kick coverage.
Yeah, actually there's 4 or 5 Raiders right there, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks. They'll start from their own 18 this time. 7:27 left first quarter. Frontenac 21-0 lead. Let's see if the defense can give the Raiders good field position once again. Again, the quarterback, Chris Young. Meeks the fullback. Young to throw, looking left side, puts it up, underthrown as a pass intended for the wide receiver. Short hops him. Receiver Terrence Johnson.
Again, pressure right up the middle. Mays getting in there, Cummins getting in there, both of them getting off the ball, fighting through their gap, put some pressure, forced a bad throw.
So 2nd and 10 for the Hawks from their own 18-yard line. They shuttle the play in. Again, Young under the center. He's a senior, one of the few seniors. Splitting wide to the left goes Terrence Johnson. Wide out to the right side. That is Ramirez. And there's a give and trying to turn the left corner. Nothing doing. As coming up, Alex Johnson. Nice defensive effort as he was able to throw the runner for a loss.
Good play by Johnson. He attacked the blocker but kept his outside leverage. So he's either going to turn him in, or if the back tries to bounce it, he's right there, able to bear hug him, secured him, and got him to the ground. So good job by Johnson with technique, and then got him on the ground as well.
So it'll be 3rd and 12 for the Hawks from their own 16-yard line. Wide out both sides, slot both sides. Again, Meeks the fullback behind Young, the quarterback, looking to throw. Some pressure, a slant, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was Rudy Ramirez. Ball should have been caught.
Would have been caught, but I tell you, Ishimura, a good break on the ball, came out of his back pedal when he saw the throw, did a good job with coverage. He was going to take him down right when he caught it, been short of the first down. So should have been caught, but it still would have been short of the first down.
So 4th and 12 for the Hawks from their own 16-yard line, down to 6:41 left first quarter. Frontenac the 21-0 lead. And again, well, we'll see now. Really Young will go in there in that shotgun. Now he's up by the center, see if they shift. Now they're going to go on 4th and 12. He's rolling right, able to turn the corner, throws it up for grabs, and the defender's there and bats it down. Ishimura, also Wilbert backing him up as that pass knocked down.
Good pressure, and the Raiders did kind of have their punt return team in, and KW Hale did a good job putting some pressure on the quarterback as he rolled out. Just threw it up for grabs. I mean, that's all you can do. It's 4th down. You might as well throw it up there, see if your player can make a play. Raiders with 2 guys, not fooled at all, able to break up the pass. And, I guess when you're struggling like that, why not? Your last punt was about, 8-yard punt? Why not?
Devontae Locke, the intended receiver, only a freshman, and put it up for grabs, and good defense by the Raiders, and they have it 1st and 10, and they'll start from the Hawks' 16-yard line, already leaving 21-0 with 6:33 left here in the first quarter. Again, out of the gun, Brown with Loy behind him, option left side, fakes the pitch, penalty flag down, and good block from Loy, and turning the corner down to the 10, and run out of bounds near the 5 is Brown, but a penalty flag trailing play.
And we'll see what this is. Must be, I would say that's illegal formation. They must not have had enough guys on the line of scrimmage, which is unusual for the Raiders because they almost always ask the official on the linesman. But I tell you, Harmon actually defended that pretty well. We're stringing it out. Loy was the pitchback. He's the one that turned it up to make that block, as you mentioned during the play. But good improvisation by Loy to make that block, but called back on the penalty.
So 1st and 16 for the Raiders from the Hawks' 21-yard line after the 5-yard mark off. Clock's moving. We're down to 6:20 here in the first quarter, and Frontenac with the 21-0 lead. Threatening again. Coming wide left is Hessong. Wide to the right, Chastain. Running backs in the eye. Loy the fullback. Wilbert the tailback. Brown under the center. Drops the snap. Boy, they're having a heck of a time with that exchange, especially under center.
Yeah, the second time. This time the ball falls completely to the ground. Brown just drops on it. So, and it is second week of having a new center. So it really shouldn't be a problem at this point. But right now the shotgun snaps have been okay. 1 or 2 maybe a little bit low, but the center exchange under center definitely a problem in the first quarter.
All right, that's where you usually have, that's almost automatic sometimes, although anymore there's so many more of the shotgun snaps and even at the high school level. 2nd and 16 for the Raiders. From the 20, low snap, give to Wilbert, room left side, cuts inside the 20, 15, still on his feet, down to the 14, maybe the 13, and a good hard run by Jake Wilbert.
Yeah, left side offensive line, good job. That's Nathan Kaufman, Trey Harris. Good seal blocks down to the inside, allowed Wilbert to go to the outside. I thought he maybe was going to bounce it further to the outside and try to get to the sideline with a little more room. Decided to cut it up, and hard to argue with the gain that he got. So setting up, go from 2nd and very long to now 3rd and about 7, so much more manageable.
Raiders from the Hawks 13-yard line, out of the gun. Here's Brown with Lloyd blocking back right quick. Hits right side. This time that is Riley McDaniel, and he cuts inside the defender, and he's in for the score. Just a quick hitch right side this time to McDaniel is good for a 13-yard touchdown pass.
Well, I tell you, this is a good job by McDaniel, although it was really set up by formation. The Harmon only had 2 defensive backs out there to cover 3. So you had 2 guys to block 2 guys, but one of them goes unblocked somehow. McDaniel makes a nice cut. The young player, nice cut to the inside, shrugged off another one off the shoulder. So a nice play by McDaniel.
13-yard touchdown pass and the extra point up. And it is good. We've got 4:38 left here in the first quarter. Frontenac out to the 28-0 lead. And, boy, you couldn't ask for a better start for the Raiders on the road here against Harmon.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, Rob, I mentioned this on the drive up. I was a little nervous about this game. Harmon's lost, has not won a game this year. Don't believe they won a game last year. They're struggling. The film that Frontenac saw, they did not look very good. I was worried that the boys would come up, be overconfident. The long road trip, how are you going to react to that? Harmon's got to figure they're a 5A school playing a 4A Division II school. If they're going to get a win, this ought to be it. And I thought everything was set up for this to be a dogfight. But I tell you, the Raiders have come out and really taken care of business here in the first quarter. It's a really good thing to see.
28-0 Frontenac to lead with 4:38 left first quarter. Again, Trey Harris tees it up at the 40. Back to receive the kick, Terrence Johnson for the Hawks. End over end, driving kick, and that one is in the end zone. And It'll come out to the 20. Harris putting the foot into it here on these early kicks, getting it down inside the end zone, a couple of them, and near it, the other ones.
That was a pretty good spot, Rob, because I tell you, they play soccer on this field too, so you've got like the goal square or the box, and it's down that end. To me, it's a little more confusing. Good spot. Good eyes.
I thought the one before this one he actually had a back foot go in, but maybe it's just where the ball was. First and 10, Hawks from their own 20. Wide to the left is Johnson. Out wide to the right is Ramirez. Again, the quarterback is Young under the center. This is Give, right side. Boy, nothing there. And, boy, they stack him up and throw him back at near the 15-yard line. There was just absolutely no room up the middle.
Well, it's the defensive tackles, both of them. It's Mays and Cummins. Cummins showing tonight he deserves that starting nod for tonight's game. Both of them getting into the backfield. Both of them hit him before he could ever get going.
So, actually a loss of about 3. Second and 13 for the Hawks from their own 17-yard line. And the single setback behind the quarterback is Isaiah Rush. And there's a bootleg, and boy, he avoided the first wave of tacklers, and loose is Young, and he tries to bowl over a tackler. He's out to the 35-yard line, so a nice effort there by the quarterback, Chris Young, as he avoided the sack.
Yeah, that's just it, individual effort, because immediate pressure on him, not faked by the bootleg or the Raider defense. Everybody in position, but he makes a really good jump cut and able to avoid the rush, and then found some open area after that to get a first down for the Harmon Eagles.
Couple carries, 25 yards for Young. First and 10, Hawks from their own 35-yard line. Under center, Young, rolling left, pressured, and he'll dump pass well short, and he takes a shot as, well, no harm, no foul, shake hands. It was just kind of some pressure there by Cal Strand on the quarterback, Young, and he just unloaded.
Well, I was looking at the white hat on that one, as it was marginal, but he didn't go full force. He kind of held up on the hit, so no flag. But boy, if you get pressure on the quarterback when he throws, it really affects his accuracy big time. You can see it; it's pretty obvious. Get pressure on him, and the throws are going to be tough.
Second and 10. Hawks from their own 35-yard line. 3:31 left here in the first quarter, and Frontenac the 28-0 lead. Out wide to the left is Marlo Bowens. Wide to the right side is Devontae Locke. Slots both sides and rolling near side. That is Young. Boy, he avoids the one tackler, and now he reverses his field, and he's got a first down plus. Nice run by Young. He's able to pick up 12 more yards.
Well, the defensive end on this side doesn't get fooled by the bootleg, but he allows himself to get too far up the field, and he runs past the quarterback, which allows the quarterback to slide right underneath him, and then he's got the open field. So the end does a good job not biting on the fake to the opposite side, but then he gets way too far up the field.
So first and 10 Hawks from their own 47-yard line. Young under the center. Single setback is Isaiah Rush. There's a pitch, sweep to the right side, and crossing midfield into Raider territory. Nice run there by Terrence Johnson, and he picks up quick 8 yards.
Well, and you're seeing a little bit of confidence now come up to the line, running the play this time, able to set the edge. They get a seal on the inside, get the corner. And I like this Terrence Johnson. Sophomore mentioned earlier, good-sized kid's got some wiggle to him. You can tell he's good and strong athlete. If he gets into the open field, he can cause some problems.
Second and 2, Hawks from the Raiders, 45-yard line. And Rush the single setback. Young pressured. Boys able to get around the corner and hemmed in and tripped up, brought down. Nice play out there. I was trying to see. That was Alex Johnson who came up. And, boy, it's close to a first down. I believe just short.
Yeah, he's going to be about a yard short. And, yeah, this time he gets outside the end on the bootleg. Johnson read it, was in his pass drop, able to come up quick enough to keep him a yard short. But you got to figure here this is 4-down territory, for Harmon. So 3rd and 1, you got 2 shots to gain 1 yard.
Hawks from the Raiders' 44-yard line. And Young under the center. Meeks in there at the running back. Now 2 players in motion. There's a penalty flag, and that'll help the Raiders.
There was a fumble, and Frontenac has the ball.
Up with it, so yeah, they'll decline it.
This
the Raiders
should be
going to come
Raider
up
football.
with it. Yes, indeed. 2 players in motion. Once again, flag went down, and the ball popped out, and the Raiders have another fumble recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. I was wondering because earlier they didn't really give an option on the on a penalty, and I was worried they were going to call that a false start and no play. But again, tried to go up the middle, and the defensive tackles, both of them stood them up. The ball popped out, Ginnivan hopped on it. But boy, I tell you, defensive tackles making another play.
1st and 10 Raiders. They'll start from their own 46-yard line with a minute 54 left in the first quarter, and Frontenac the 28-0 lead.
2 scores real quick, Rob. Galena 6-0 over Coffeyville in the first quarter. Labette County 7-0 over Fort Scott in the first quarter.
Raiders 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Brown's going to keep it left side, tries to turn the corner, does, crosses midfield, gets to the sideline and run out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Penalty flag. Boy, trailing the play, and we're...
Oh, it's a chop block. Yeah, it's a chop block. So 2 men, 1 hit high, 1 goes low. Very dangerous to block like that on the inside. So this will be a 15-yard penalty on the Raiders.
That is the call, and again the mark off, and the Raiders going to face a 1st and
25.
25 from their own 31-yard line. Minute 48 left here in the first quarter, and Frontenac 28-0 lead.
And usually that's a miscommunication issue. You know you're going to double team somebody, so you got to know if you're going to double team, both of you have to stay high, or both can go low, but you can't go 1 high, 1 low.
So the Raiders 1st and 25 from their own 31-yard line. Negated a nice run by Peyton Brown. Now under center, bobbles a snap. Now he gives it. That's Alex Johnson, loose far side. He crosses midfield, the 40 of Hawks, and then thrown down near the 33-yard line.
Well, right side, offensive line, it's Dylan Toll and Cal Strand. Great job sealing everything down. And Johnson, I tell you, he's a stocky, good-sized kid, but he's got some speed. If you can get him to the outside, he can run for a long way. Good blocks again on the outside. The receivers so far in this game have blocked extremely well. Big first down on 1st and 25, and you pick it up.
1st and 10 Raiders now at the Hawks 33-yard line. With the clock moving, a minute 15 left first quarter. Frontenac 28-0 lead. Wide left is Ginnivan. Slot left Wilbert. Also joined out there by Ishamira. Loy, the blocking back, low snap. Brown able to get it. Loy, he's loose up the middle inside the 25, 20, 15. Still on his feet, 10-5, touchdown. Cooper Loy goes from 33.
Boy, and I tell you, this is close to disaster. It's a low snap. Brown barely able to get the ball to Loy, but they make sure they secure it. Breaks 1 tackle about 2 yards downfield, breaks an arm tackle by a linebacker, and then just hard running up the middle. Cooper Loy, a really good run, pretty well blocked up front. But I tell you, they need to get these snaps, under center and the shotgun. They need to get this cleaned up because that play was real close to being on the ground as well.
And again, the extra point attempt up and off the foot of Trey Harris is good. We've got 57.4 seconds left first quarter. Frontenac has a 35-0 lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
Having a confident smile can change everything, and Invisalign makes that decision easy because you can have a stunning smile without most people even knowing you're going through treatment. Saya Smile Center is proud to be a premier provider of Invisalign. Your Invisalign treatment will consist of a series of aligners that you switch out every 2 weeks. Each aligner will gradually shift your teeth perfectly into place, giving you the smile you always dreamed of. Call Saya Smile Center today for your no-cost consultation. Saya Smile Center, 4095 Parkview Drive in Frontenac, 620-231-7242.
Bob stand up to Randy Southard. Frontenac leads Harmon 35-0. Trey Harris tees it at the 40. Back to receive the kick for the Harmon Hawks is Terrence Johnson. End over end kick, and coming up, Johnson just short of the goal line. He returns, tries the middle, and he stops, and he is buried just across the 15.
Boy, excellent kick coverage again. And was watching Mays because last game he was just flying down, getting some big hits. He kind of got out of control a little bit, but still managed to get in on the tackle. But excellent kick coverage again.
So 1st and 10 for the Hawks, and they'll start from their own 16-yard line.
One additional score just came up. Baxter Springs, they're going against Riverton tonight. Baxter with a 13-0 lead at the end of the first quarter.
So Hawks 1st and 10. They start from their own 16-yard line. Again, Young under the center. There's the dive to Meeks. Boy, a penalty flag down quick.
I think this is going to be motion again. That they send the wing in motion, and I think the fullback is leaving just a hair early, and the officials just not letting him get away with it.
Meeks with that football. It was stopped for a gain. A couple of tough yards. I'm sure the Raiders go ahead and take it. No. Okay. So it'll be 1st and 15 for Harmon. Hawks from their own 11 with 46.7 seconds left. First quarter, Frontenac the 35-0 lead.
I'd say, Rob, I've got to mention one other score, and it's not necessarily local, but statewide. It's important. Derby is playing Bishop Carroll, powerhouse Bishop Carroll. Derby leading 20-10 so far tonight.
Hawks 1st and 15 from their own 11. And the quarterback, the senior, Chris Young, looking to throw, pressured by Ginnivan and brought down by Given, and lost the football. And it looks like, did the Raiders come up with it? Trying to see
they
who's down
did.
there. That was Cummins came up with the loose football as Cummins and Ginnivan met at the quarterback, and Cummins came up with it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Off the edge, you get Ginnivan coming in off the edge. Penetration again by Cummins. Get the ball loose. Cummins ends up with it, so another big play. I tell you, Drew Cummins tonight, he's playing one heck of a game.
He had a good game the other night against Riverton. Got a little more playing time. It was like a man possessed out there and carried over and had a heck of a first quarter here. So the Raiders will start. It'll actually be a 1st and goal from the Hawks 10. Shamir splits wide right, Ginnivan wide left. Running backs are Lloyd to the right of the quarterback, Brown, and Wilbert behind Brown. Give it to Wilbert, right side, boy, wide open, and he is inside the 5, flirting with the goal line. I believe he got stopped short. But boy, there was a hole there, and just got a little tardy getting through it.
Well, they're in the shotgun, and then he's 3 or 4 yards behind the quarterback. He's got a long way to go. Good push by the offensive line up front. Just created a wall, got a real good push, slide to the outside, and you get it all the way down to about the 2.
So it'll be, and that's the end of the first quarter. Frontenac, the 35-0 lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
No one wants to file for bankruptcy, but a wage garnishment can make it hard to pay the rent, pay the pharmacy, or even feed the family. Bankruptcy can be a viable option to help families cope with unfortunate and unforeseen financial hardship. Call Steve Stockert at Wilbert & Towner, 620-231-5620 for a consultation to find out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you and your family. Call today. Wilbert & Towner, a full-service law firm, 620-231-5620. We are a debt relief agency, helping people find the relief they need in bankruptcy.
Rob Strand back with Randy Southard. We're ready for the second quarter. The Frontenac Raiders lead the Harmon Hawks 35-0. And the Raiders threatening again with a 2nd and goal from the Hawks. Looks like it's at the about the 3-yard line, maybe the 2, judging where the line is standing. So 2nd and goal, Raiders from the Hawks 2, trying to end a 35-0 lead. And what an outstanding first quarter for the Raiders.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would think just go straight ahead. They're in an I formation. I would expect ISO.
Lloyd, the fullback, the tailback is Wilbert. Brown gives to Wilbert, right side, boy, and he walks into for the score from 2 yards out.
Yep, sure enough, you get ISO. You get a good double team by the guard and tackle on the right side of the line. You get Lloyd leading the way to take the linebacker, and it's an easy walk in for Wilbert. But that's a good communication up front. You know, this time you get the double team and you get the lead blocker, Lloyd, who's done a heck of a job all year.
And the extra point attempt by Trey Harris out of Wilbert's hold. And this one, boy, line drive that thing, no good.
I wonder, that may have actually been tipped at the line. I thought I heard a tick after he kicked it.
It had a warble to it, and in any event, no good. 11:56 left first half. Frontenac leads at 41-0. We'll keep it here, and we said coming into this one, we kind of had concerns about the size differential and the trip and everything like that. And after one quarter, the Raiders have responded probably much better than Coach Smith could ever have hoped for.
Oh, I think so. very impressive in the first quarter, just not taking anything for granted, coming out, doing their job, and playing really hard, just taking it right to them and putting this one away early.
So the kickoff again. Trey Harris tees it up the 40 back to receive the kick. Terrence Johnson. I do want to say Harmon Hawks Athletic Director Dennis Dorr been very helpful. Nice meeting him and chatting with him and doing a lot of good things up here and been a great host and a nice facility and playing a lot of young kids and see if they improve as the seasons go. Long kick and it's bobbled and going down to pick it up at the knee about the 5. They say he didn't go to his knee and he was wrestled down back at the 7-yard line, and actually almost looked like when he went down to after he bobbled about the 5, he went down to a knee, but they said no, and they gave him, I believe out to about the, see where they mark it, maybe about the 7.
Yeah, good hustle.
Now the soccer's playing tricks with me. I'll give you that.
Hayden Pyle, good hustle, getting down the field and making that play. Of course, the bobbled ball, but good hustle.
So 1st and 10, Hawks will start from their own 7-yard line. They have used multiple quarterbacks during the season, and so far it's been all Chris Young. Let's see if he is still in there.
And he came off after the last fumble, came off the field a little slow, but back out there, give him credit.
And there's a give, the dive. Boy, nothing doing on that left side as he was gang tackled and good penetration, just couldn't get going.
Yeah, this time Gage Clothier, middle linebacker, makes an excellent read, fills the hole, getting to the legs. So good job by Clothier.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, Hawks from their own. And it's actually marked about the 8-yard line. Young under the center. And well, there's movement once again. They did stop at that time. Yeah, you got a couple of them just a little antsy, a little over anxious getting that lean in there along with the player in motion.
Well, and I think some of this is they've got a lot of young kids that haven't played a lot this year, so some inexperience back there. And that's the type of penalties you get. The unforced errors, the false start, the illegal motion, stuff like that happens with young players.
So it'll be 2nd and 15 for the Hawks. And now back at their own 4-yard line. Coming wide to the right is Sutton, out wide to left. That is Bowens. Now some motion. And boy, that is that Mays? It's going to be a sack as he drives the quarterback out of the end zone. And, well, they're going to say he was stopped just outside the goal line.
They're going to say he was hit, forward progress, basically about 2 inches away from the goal line. But Mays came through practically untouched and got to him before he could get the handoff. I think he was going to hand that ball off, but Mays just immediate pressure shooting through.
So 3rd and let's call it about 18 for the Hawks. Football in the shadow of their own goal line with 10-12 left here in the first half in Frontenac with a 41-0 lead. So see if they just try and wedge it out and get some room to punt, or of course they don't need that much room to punt because they're getting the shotgun and just step back after they get the snap. Young surveys the defense, dropping back, puts it, and it is thrown. Well, I believe that was intended for Marlo Bowens, but thrown behind him, falls incomplete.
Well, they're trying to go with all goes, trying to go down the field, but the pressure's just on the quarterback so quickly. He threw the ball and didn't have a receiver with his head turned yet, but he just had to get rid of it.
So a punting situation for the Hawks. Back to receive the kick for the Raiders, drops Wilbert. And again, handling the punting duties is Chris Young as he's in his end zone. Doesn't get a real deep drop back there as short snap gets it away. Boy, nice kick. He air milled it over Wilbert's head. Now it checked up. Didn't take much of a roll. Get away from the ball. No reason to get that close when the ball's bouncing around like that.
I really thought Mays had a chance to block that play.
Yeah, it was close.
But it looked like he just kind of held up, maybe worried he was going to rough him if he didn't get the ball. But Mays Again, penetration up front.
Yeah, pretty nice punt, but like I said, it checked up rather than take a roll. You may get on the turf, and now the Raiders going to have it 1st and 10 from the Hawks' 38-yard line.
You know, the punts have been so short, you can't blame the return man for moving up a little bit, and he finally gets a hold of one, gets over him, but still hard to argue with getting the ball at the 38-yard line of your opponent.
So 1st and 10, Raiders from the Hawks' 38. Brown out of the gun. Going to keep the football. Right side has room inside the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and dragged down about the 8-yard line. Nice run, and that time quarterback took it and took off.
Yeah, that's not Peyton Brown, though. That's Jake Beckman in at quarterback. And he did, last week they tried this, and he did the fake, and he didn't pause, and he got there into the hole before his pulling lineman got there. This time he waited just long enough. The pulling guard comes around, gets a great kick-out block, and now he's got the seal. So the young player learning from the mistake last week of not making that pause after the fake, waiting for the lineman. This week he waits for him, takes the hole, and it's a big play.
So Jake Beckman in there and spelling Peyton Brown. And he's good, about a 33-yard run under center, and there's the give. And right side, that is Wilbert once again, and he is going to go into the end zone for the score.
Yeah, and they pull both guard and tackle from the left side. That's Kaufman and Harris. They come around leading the way. Good ball fakes in the backfield. 2 pulling linemen, both of them get up there, get some blocks. Easy score for Wilbert yet again.
So Jake Wilbert from 8. And the extra point attempt coming up. Wilbert to hold. He's earning a scholarship tonight. And there's Harris' kick. And it is up playing along with it, but no good. Apparently wide to the left. So 9-12 remaining first half. Frontenac leads at 47-0. And we'll take a 30-second break. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
After 3 decades in business, Bittner Motors of Pittsburgh remains a local favorite. If you're in the market for a quality pre-owned vehicle, Bittner Motors has a large selection of late model, low mileage vehicles to choose from. Whether it be a car, truck, or SUV, Bittner Motors will warranty all their vehicles 100% for parts and service. And if you can't find what you're looking for on the lot, they will find it for you. Bittner Motors, 1018 North Broadway, Pittsburgh.
Rob Strandback with Randy Southard. 9-12 left here in the first half. Frontenac 47-0 lead, and Harris to kick off high end over end. And back to receive the kick. And bringing it out, this time bringing it to the left side and being brought down at the 28-yard line. And on the return is Stefan Simmons.
And I'll give you one guess who made the tackle on kick coverage. Andrew Mays chasing him down, gets to the outside. Bollinger also in on the play as well.
So 1st and 10, and now the Hawks will start from their own 18-yard line and get some new faces in on that Raider defense. I see K.W. Hale, also joined by Buddy Sexton. Also Colby Bevins in that line, and he's joined in there by Hayden Pyle. Let's see, who else? What are some of the other? We've also got Cale Bridwell, also Drew Bollinger, and there's a give. Boy, nothing doing as they tried to hand it off and tried the right side, and Clothier in there, and he planted the running back. Trying to see who else. There's another tackler in there, and boy, not much going there at all for Terrence Johnson.
Kate Chastain, Hayden Pyle, Kobe Bevins doing a good job on that side. Didn't give an inch, got it up the field a little bit. Make a nice defensive play.
2nd, 13. Hawks from their own 15-yard line after that loss. And the quarterback, Chris Young. Running back's in the eye behind him. He's rolling to the right, looking to throw, looking to go long over the middle, and he puts it up for grabs over a throw. It's actually the cut broke off the route, and also back there defending was Hessong and also Ryan Rayo.
Yeah,
so
this
that
time
was well covered.
Well, the quarterback had a little bit of time this time. Didn't have that instant pressure, time to look at the field, but he looked up. They had 2 deep receivers. One of them's double covered, the other single covered, but blanketed. Nowhere to really throw the ball. Threw it up, see if he could receiver can make a play for him, but it just goes over everybody's head. But excellent coverage on the back end by the Raiders.
Got Chance in there, also Rayo, Hessong on defense. Third 13, boy, pressure. The quarterback forced to scramble. 3 Raiders. He puts it up over the middle, and he got completion, and he got close to the first down. Put it up for grabs, and kept running the route. Did Terrence Johnson, and he got about 13 yards.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever convince me that that's what he meant to do. I really think he just threw it to an area and hoped somebody could go get it. And I'll be darned if a teammate doesn't come and get it. They convert for a first down.
First and 10 Hawks from their own 29-yard line with 8:05 remaining here in the first half. In Frontenac, the 47-0 lead. And get in there. Also Cummins in there at the linebacker. He's joined back there by Drew Bollinger. Also Kate Chastain, as you mentioned. Also Kill Bridwell in there. And rolling right, Young. Going to go long, far side. Puts it up for grabs, defended by Chance. Oh, and a nice catch as the receiver comes down with it. He's loose along the far sideline, and he's tripped up and brought down at the 18 and just went up and got the football. Well defended, but made the catch.
Yeah, Chance is in perfect position, but Chance is just not the tallest kid you'd ever see. So he's in perfect position to make a play, but the taller receiver just goes right over the top of him and comes down with the ball.
4 completions in 11 attempts, 75 yards. And a first and 10 for the Hawks from the Raiders' 18-yard line with 7:38 remaining here in the first half. And Frontenac 47-0 lead. Yeah, Young letting her fly that time. Under the center. And there's a pitch, sweep, left side, and cutting inside, and a nice cut by Terrence Johnson, and he is stacked up around the 8-yard line. Nice cut and a first down.
Yeah, actually a little bit of over pursuit by the Raiders that time, and able to cut it back and get a nice play on first down.
So 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1 for the Hawks from the Raiders' 9-yard line. With 7 minutes remaining here in the first half, in Frontenac the 47-0 lead. There's a little indecision there as they line up. Going wide to the right side is Ramirez. Out wide to the left is Arambula, and there's a give. Left side, turning the corner, down to the 5, and run out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Hessong there, and also riding him out of bounds was, let's see, that was Cummins, and dragged down at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, able to seal the corner out. No outside contain this time for the Raider defense. And, you know, I know our JV is in on defense, but, you know, you still expect these kids to go out and do their job. And at that time, no outside contain. He gets to the edge, gives them a first and goal at about the 3 or maybe 4-yard line.
Hawks threaten with 6:34 left in the first half, and there's a give right side and a little trap play, nothing. Nice defense there as Stefan Simmons stacked up for no game.
Yeah, Cummins this time he's playing middle linebacker now. They're moving back from the D tackle to the linebacker spot. Read that play very well, filled the hole, kept that one, maybe even lost a yard on that play.
He did. And it'll be 2nd and goal for the Hawks from the Raiders' 4-yard line. Clock moving down to 6:05 here in the first half. Frontenac the 47-0 lead. Young under the center, single set back behind him. Rolling, bootleg, left side, putting it up for grabs in the end zone, and the too tall as Hessong on the defense there is pass too tall. Good pressure by KW Hale coming off that end, pressured the quarterback.
Yeah, and kept his outside contained, more importantly. Didn't let him get to the outside where he would have had open room. Forced him to throw it a little earlier than maybe he wanted to, and really just threw that away. You're right, Hessong blanketing the receiver in the end zone. Good coverage.
3rd and goal. Hawks from the Raiders' 4. Yeah, at the end of the contest, we'll have the unofficial stat scoring summary and a visit with Raiders head coach Mark Smith. And the quarterback is Young. Slots to both sides, wides out to both sides. Now the running back shift into the I formation. The tailback is Terrence Johnson. And Terrence Johnson has the football up the middle, and boy, they're going to shut him down just short. Maybe got down to the 1.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get in there, and then all of a sudden the linebacker makes a stop. The defensive backs come up to help out, but setting up 4th and goal from the 1-yard line.
See if the defense can keep the shutout going here with 5.5 minutes left in the first half.
And need to get some penetration up front. That's kind of stopped with the JV team in there. They got to get some penetration.
As they rush the fullback, the tailback is Terrence Johnson, and there's give to Johnson, and he gets stacked up. Oh, second effort, and he got in. Boy, I'll tell you what, good effort by Johnson. He was stacked up and then just slid outside and took it in from a yard out.
Yeah, good job by the tackles. They stuffed everything up the middle, but they really couldn't get any hands on him. He was able to slide off of it, spin his way in the end zone, and he earned that and almost lost the ball before he got in there. But give Harmon a touchdown, pretty good drive.
Johnson from a yard out. Now the extra point attempt by Harmon, and see if they go for 2, which I believe they will. They are lining up with Young at the quarterback, and single setback behind him. Wideouts, 3 of them to the right side, rolling left side, putting it up, and nice effort there as that was Grant Hessong as they tried to pass for 2, and he batted the pass down. It was right there. He come up and knocked her down. So 5:13 left here in the first half. Frontenac the 47-6 lead over Harmon. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac football on 103.5 FM.
If you want to improve your basketball skill set, you need to attend one of the Lane Lord basketball camps. Each camper receives individual attention and specific coaching adapted to age and skill level. There's something for everyone. A grade school camp for girls entering 3rd through 8th grade, a high school team camp available on 2 different weekends with both varsity and JV levels of competition, plus satellite camps throughout the summer. All campers receive instruction from head coach Lane Lord, head assistant Amanda David, along with former and current players. For more information, visit them online at lanelordbballcamps.com. Coach Lord and Coach David have seen tremendous success over the past several years, and they begin their recruiting at these camps, with over 20 former campers being signed. Visit lanelordbballcamps.com.
Frontenac the lead. Harmon to kick off. Teed up at the 40. Watch the onside kick here, and they go for the onside kick. It's a good one, but one of the ump backs takes it and falls on the football. And a nice effort there by Griffin Souter. He came up with the football.
Yep, good hands by the lineman, no less. Did a good job secure it. Just go down very smartly.
1st and 10. Raiders will start from their own 49-yard line, leading 47-6 with 5:12 left here in the first half. And a lot of new faces again. Jake Beckman in at the quarterback spot, trying to get some of those numbers in the line. See at the tight end spot, Caleb Kronicke lines up on the left side, going, well, now some confusion. Hesson splits wide left, coming out wide to the right is Brendan Mosier. Quarterback Beckman flanked by the running backs out of the gun. There's a give. No, Beckman's going to keep it, crosses midfield before he is stood up at the 47 of the Hawks and push back.
Well, I got to tell you, that was a heck of a late pull out of the mesh point with the running back, because I really thought the running back had the ball and was tackled for about a 4-yard loss. So good job by Beckman to pull that ball just in time, taking himself in a really good read.
Also into the Raiders offense is Cade Chastain, also Austin Souter. Chastain comes wide to the right, Austin Souter wide left, slot left is Alex Johnson. Clothier running back to the right of Beckman, quarterback out of the gun, looking to throw, left side, puts it up, catch complete. Chastain right about the stakes, close to the first down. Pick up of about 6, maybe 7.
Yeah, and I think they're going to give him the first down by the length of the football. Yeah, moving the chains on the other side. Across that offensive line, Cole Davis in the game now. Dakota Lapping, Caleb Hemby in at center. You got Bevins in the left tackle. And I believe it's Buddy Sexton in the left guard now.
So 1st and 10 Raiders from the Hawks 41-yard line. Chance comes wide to the right side.
Wide left. There's a give up the middle with some room. Clothier bowls over a tackler. He's inside the 25, 20, 15, and run out of bounds inside the 15 down about the 12-yard line.
Well, I tell you, the coaches are going to love this one on film with the JV in the right side of that line. Great hole, wide open hole for Clothier to run through. You could have put a truck through it. Then Clothier, he puts a shoulder down and knocks one man away and then turns it into the bigger gain. But, boy, I tell you, huge hole right side of the offensive line. Great job.
So Clothier, one carry, good for 29 yards. First down, 1st and 10 Raiders from the Hawks. 12-yard line. Chastain goes wide left. Coming out wide to the right side is Jake Minguini. Tight to the left, Kroenke, running backs in the eye with Clothier, the fullback, Johnson, the tailback. Beckman gives it to Johnson. Left side's got some room inside the 10. Dragging tacklers down, flirting with the 5-yard line.
And a good hard run by Johnson because he could see he was probably going to be contacted maybe a yard downfield. Decided to plant a foot and go forward, push the pile about 4 more yards than he probably should have got.
3.5 minutes left first half. Frontenac 47-6 lead, and the Raiders threatening. They have a 2nd and 4 from the Hawks 6-yard line. Now Beckman looking to the far side, get the play, and boy, it's got to be close to the clock running out.
Yeah, I would think the Raiders are going to have to take time out, or else they're
looking
going to
at
get
the
a
clock.
delay.
Back judge there looking at his clock, and now he's got his hand up. So this is,
within 5 seconds,
yeah,
they're not going to get it off.
No, better call time, or you're going to get that 5-yard mark off. And he's got the whistle in the mouth. I think he's ready to go. He got it. I do. He was put the hand up and started the timer.
Yeah, usually when they do that, it's 5 seconds, and I tell you, I think he did about 10. I mean, he gave the Raiders every chance in the world to get to the line and get that play off, and but finally went ahead and threw the flag, and I think appropriately so.
And I might add that I don't see the play clock here.
I don't think they have one. I think it's just strictly the back judge that keeps it.
And that's a lot of that's kind of standard these days. When you don't have it, it's kind of the not norm, and it's tough. I mean, sometimes you're glancing at that. And Clothier takes a nice hop, and he dances inside the 10 down to about the 7.
Yeah, you're right. Nice jump cut, make one man miss, and then lower the shoulder, pick up a couple more.
See some of these kids getting some playing time in here early in the contest here in the first half, with the Raiders leading to 47-6 with 2:35 remaining first half, and a 3rd and 5 for Frontenac from the 7 of Harmon. Play from the far side. Once again, we're looking at the clock. We'll wait and see if that head goes up, because they've been taking a little bit of time here. Maybe by design. The hand is up and the count on. Beckman pitch, sweep left side, and that's Alex Johnson. And he's able to battle his way down to the 5, and that was maybe a pitch a little behind him and a little.
Well, pretty good defense this time, though. Harmon strings this thing out really well, and the Raiders not really able to turn their blockers up the field, kind of kept them sideways, so that Johnson got what he could, setting up 4th down, and it looks like the Raiders are going to bring the field goal unit out.
So the ball resting at the 5, it'll be spotted at the 12, making it a 22-yard field goal of him off the foot of Trey Harris, and this is for on down the line later in the season if need be. Good snap, placement down, kick is up, and it is long enough, and it is no good. Wide right. 1:20 left first half. Frontenac the 47-6 lead, and that's one of those things they've been working on, and it's been kind of a bugaboo, a little struggle with some of those. There's been times they've tried to get some of those field goals, and it's just.
Well, I wonder sometimes if it's just how he's aligning himself, because if it's not straight in front of the goal, that's when it seems like he really struggles. So I'm not sure if he's getting a proper alignment as far as, so all he has to worry about is kicking it straight. Because I think as he pushed that one a little bit off to the right, which is a little unusual for him. Usually if he misses, he hooks it.
So 1:20 left first half. Frontenac 47-6 lead, and the Harmon Hawks with a 1st and 10. They'll start at their own 20-yard line, see if they can score late here in the first half. Cut into that Frontenac 47-6 lead. And the quarterback is
Chris Young has been airing out a little now, kind of letting it fling, and they give it up the middle. And, boy, pretty well defensed, Terrence Johnson, but a nice second effort. He kind of bounced it outside, then cut it up the middle, and was able to turn pretty much nothing in about a 4-yard gain.
Well, and that's where he is. He's just shifty, and he's just shifty enough to make one man miss and slide through a little bit of a gap, because you're right, defended pretty well. Chastain with a good job coming up, keeping his outside contained, turning him back in, but just slippery enough to turn that into a gain.
So a 2nd and 6 for the Hawks from their own 24-yard line. Clock moving, 48 seconds left, first half. He's setting the offense there. Young with the football, rolling right, going to go long once again, puts it up for grabs, and boy, a little battle there, and good coverage by Brant Chance, knocked it down, and they tried to hit that long one once again. They're got
good
a big
position.
gain on it last time, but Chance batted that one down.
Good position, and this time able to hand fight enough. I think that's why both players had hands on each other. I think a good no call by the official, because who do you call it on when they're both touching each other? So good battle for the ball, and Chance wins this time.
In the linebacker spot, they've got Brandon Mosier and also Cole Davis. 3rd and 6 for the Hawks from their own 24-yard line, and now timeout taken by Harmon. With 38 seconds left first half, Frontenac 47-6 lead, and you got some update on some of those scores.
Absolutely. Colgan and Girard. Colgan 14, Girard 6.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
Labette at the half. Labette 14, Fort Scott 0. Columbus taking on Prairie View. No surprise here, 34-0 Columbus. Baxter now with a 20-0 lead on Riverton. And I'm just loving this game. You got Derby 33, Bishop Carroll 17. So Derby hanging on to that lead.
3rd and 6. Hawks from their 24, and there's a little swing pass right side. It is complete and loose along the far sideline. Boy, nice open field tackle as that was Ryan Rayo able to bring down Terrence Johnson, but a nice gain.
Well, they tried this earlier in the game, and the Raider defensive backs were able to beat the blockers and come up and make the play. This time, the Raider defensive backs stay back. They get some good blocks on the outside to give him plenty of running room to pick up the first down. To see, believe, his injured player on the far side, and it looks like they're stretching him out like he's cramping.
I believe that was the case. He was kind of sprawled out there. And the Hawks will have a 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. 30.4 seconds left here in the first half, and Frontenac with that 47-6 lead. And at halftime, we'll take a look at the unofficial stats scoring summary, take a look at what's going on around Frontenac with some of the other student athletes as some of those season's winding down a little bit. I know they had the senior night at volleyball last night.
Yeah, a big night for them last night, too, getting 2 wins, avenging a defeat to Southeast earlier in the season, coming back and beating Southeast in straight sets yesterday. So congratulations. We'll review everything with them at halftime.
Terrence Johnson, I believe you're right. He's off under his own power, just a little gingerly. It looks like it could have been a cramp. And
well, he's been the offense. Pretty much everything has gone through him, so you can't hardly blame him if he's gotten a little bit tired and cramping up.
So 1st and 10, Hawks from their own 45-yard line. Young rolling left, some pressure, puts it up. It is complete. This time on the receiving end is Michael Reed, and actually no gain on that completion.
Yeah, KW Hill, I thought for a second he was going to let him out, and then he made sure he kept him in the pocket. Pass complete on the run, so a nice throw and catch, but Cale Bridwell comes up real quick, makes a sure tackle, spins him to the ground. No gain, good play by Bridwell.
And the Hawks will face a 2nd and 10 from their own 45-yard line, and again, timeout taken as Hawks trying to cut into that Raiders 47-6 lead.
We got one other update for you, Rob. At halftime now, Colgan has scored just before the half. They now lead Girard 21-6.
So, interesting score there at Hutch Field. And again, a reminder, all Frontenac games right here on 103.5 FM, and we stream all contests live for the Raiders along with Colgan, Girard, and Pittsburgh. That's at ESPN1007.com. So keep them busy. Keeps us out of trouble. And a road trip tonight up here to KC. And it was a short trip until we got some of that traffic along. we thought it'd all be leaving Kansas City. We got the traffic that was coming in, and took a little while, but it was a pretty easy trip.
It was all Frontenac people, right?
That was it. Rolling right. It is Young. Pressure. Gets around the corner. Now he's forced to scramble, and he crosses midfield and heads out of bounds and out about the 40-yard line. So a nice scramble by Young. Picks up good yardage, close to 15 yards.
Yeah, able to get around the defensive end on the pass rush to get to the outside. And then, he's shown several times in this game, if he gets loose, he's got some decent speed and able to pick up another first down for the Hawks.
So 1st and 10, Harmon from the Frontenac 40-yard line. Is homecoming here at Harmon High School. I believe they're having the activities here at halftime. And got a couple wideouts left. Slot to the left. Single setback behind Young, the quarterback. Dropping back, pressured, being chased. Boy, he avoids that initial pressure. Now he scrambles inside the 30, and he is weaving his way down inside the 25, down to the 24, and a nice gain there of about 16 yards.
And they're going to go ahead and take a timeout as there's just over a second to go. So they'll go ahead and try to get this score. Again, initial pressure, very good. Buddy Sexton with some good initial pressure, but able to kind of cut underneath the end, who was keeping his outside contained well, but was able to split the two, get a nice gain again for Harmon.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks. Football resting at the Raiders' 24-yard line with 1.6 seconds left. And Frontenac leading 47-6. And again, the Raiders will be home next Friday as they play host to Limette County. And then after that, we head into the 3 district contests.
So the season's just flying by.
Yes. So after the timeout, see if the Hawks take a shot in the end zone here. Time for a play. As wide to the right is Marlo Bowens. In the slot to the right side is Michael Reed. In the also slot right, Terrence Johnson. For him down the middle where he's lining up on that right slot. Rolling right is Young. Pressure gets the corner turned, and he's going to loft it up and put it up, and it is intercepted inside the 5-yard line. And trying to see who came over. Is that Chastain? It was Cade Chastain with the interception.
Yeah, ball just underthrown. He's under duress. Ball underthrown. Chastain with good hands makes the pick, and that'll do it for the first half. The Raiders with the very impressive first quarter and a half for sure with the starters in the game, 47-6.
Raiders lead it, and we'll be back with the unofficial stats, scoring summary, taking a look at what's going on Frontenac High School after we take a 2-minute break. 2 minutes at halftime. Frontenac leads at 47-6, and you're listening to Frontenac football on 103.5 FM.
The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling your claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when a claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast in names and numbers. The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling your claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when a claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Rob Strandbeck with Randy Southard. We're at halftime. The Frontenac Raiders lead the Harmon Hawks 47-6. Homecoming here at Harmon High School, and they're introducing some of the candidates and the like. So a nice crowd here for Harmon's homecoming, and a lot of folks made the trek up from Frontenac. And with Raider fan, you enjoyed that first half with that 47-6 lead. Before we take a look at what some of the other goings on at Frontenac High School, we'll take a look at some of the unofficial stats scoring summary at halftime. The Harmon Hawks, they're led on the ground by Chris Young, 7 carries, 66 yards. Adrian Ortiz, a couple of carries, -2. Terrence Johnson, 9 carries for 3 yards and a touchdown. Also, Stephen Simmons, 1 carry, -1 yard. Through the air, Chris Young, 6 completions in 16 attempts, good for 95 yards, and was intercepted once. And the Hawks lost 3 fumbles, 4 turnovers for Harmon in that first half. And Terrence Johnson attempted a pass and did not complete that pass. Frontenac Raiders, the stats, Jake Wilbert, 5 carries, 68 yards, 2 touchdowns. Peyton Brown, 3 carries, 2 yards, a score. Cooper Loy, 1 carry, 33 yards, a touchdown. Alex Johnson, 3 carries, 43 yards. Brendan Ishamir, 1 carry, 16 yards, a touchdown. Jake Beckman, a couple of carries, 37 yards. And Gage Clothier, 2 carries, 34 yards. The air, Peyton Brown, 3 completions, 3 attempts, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Jake Beckman, 1 for 1 and 7 yards. The Raiders got on the Hawks early and often. Frontenac scored first with 11:44 remaining in the first quarter. Peyton Brown scored from 9 yards out. Trey Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 7, Harmon nothing with 11:44 remaining in the first quarter. Then following a turnover, the Raiders scored a 20-yard touchdown pass from Peyton Brown and Brock Gitteman. Trey Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 14 and Hayden nothing with 11:32 remaining in the first quarter. Then with 7:33 remaining in quarter number 1, and Brendan Ishamira from 16 yards out. Trey Harris again good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 21 and Harmon nothing with 7:33 remaining in the first quarter. Then with 4:38 remaining in quarter number 1, a 13-yard touchdown pass from Peyton Brown to Riley McDaniel. Extra point by Trey Harris good. It was Frontenac 28 and Harmon nothing with 4:38 remaining in the first quarter. And then with 57.4 seconds remaining in quarter number 1, Cooper Loy scored from 33 yards out. Trey Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 35, Harmon nothing with 57.4 seconds remaining in the first quarter. That's the way the first quarter ended, with the Raiders leading the Hawks 35-zip. Then in the second quarter, Jake Wilbert scored from 2 yards out with 11:56 remaining. Extra point attempt failed. It was Frontenac 41, Harmon nothing with 11:56 remaining in the first half. Then with 9:12 remaining in the first half, Wilbert again, this time from 8 yards out. The extra point attempt failed. It was 47 Frontenac and Harmon nothing with 9:12 remaining in the first half. Then the Harmon Hawks scored their lone touchdown with 5:13 remaining in the first half. Terrence Johnson from a yard out, a hard-earned yard. And the extra point on a pass, 2-point attempt on the pass was batted down, and the Raiders led the Hawks 47-6 with 5:13 remaining in the first half, and that's where we are at halftime. Frontenac Raiders lead the Harmon Hawks by a score of 47-6. So pretty much first half obviously dominated by the Raiders. Got after them early often, and again we pointed to the 2 losses that the Raiders did have. The 4 turnovers, also a block punt in one of those, and that resulted in 2 losses. And you look now, that no turnovers by the Raiders and 4 turnovers here at halftime for the Hawks had a huge impact in this first half, as the Raiders at halftime lead at 47-6. And homecoming activities continue here at Harmon High School. At halftime, Frontenac leads Harmon 47-6. And we will take a look at what's going on around Frontenac High School after we take another 2-minute break. 2 minutes. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
Hi, I'm Kendall Gammon. You may know me as a Kansas City Chief, but I'm also a proud graduate of Pittsburg State University. Pittsburg State offers more than 200 degree programs, small class sizes, and tuition so affordable it earned Pittsburg State a top 10 ranking on Washington Monthly's Collegiate Best Bang for Your Buck list. But don't take my word for it. Visit Pittsburg State and see why there's nothing like being a gorilla. Learn more at pittstate.edu/beagorilla.
If you are injured in an accident or on the job, it is vitally important that you hire the right attorney. Before choosing an attorney, you should make sure they have the resources to fight large corporations or insurance companies. Your attorney should have extensive trial court experience and a track record of success. The Spigarelli Law Firm, with offices in Pittsburgh and Coffeyville, has the experience, resources, and reputation to provide the quality representation your claim deserves. Fred Spigarelli has received the top rating from his peers with the Martindale-Hubbell Independent Rating System. His firm has the resources to hire the experts and physicians needed to properly present your claim. The Spigarelli Law Firm has successfully tried cases for over 40 years and taken numerous cases all the way to the Supreme Court. Call the Spigarelli Law Firm today at 877-409-7931 or visit their website at spigarelli-law.com. You can also find them fast in names and numbers. Be sure to get reliable information when you choose an attorney to represent you.
Rob Strandbeck with Randy Southard. We're at Kansas City Harmon High School, the Anderson Stadium. They're at halftime. The Frontenac Raiders lead the Harmon Hawks by a score of 47-6. And we've gone over the unofficial stats, the scoring summary. The Harmon band performing at halftime here of homecoming. And we oftentimes at this time like to take a look at some of the other goings-on around Frontenac High School and kind of update you on what some of the other student athletes are doing as some of those seasons kind of coming nearer the end and the postseason and the like. And again, another successful season for a lot of those teams. And Randy takes a look at some of the progress by some of those teams.
Yeah, looking at girls volleyball last night, senior night at the Frontenac Gym. Lady Raiders defeated Parsons 2-1 and then came up and beat Southeast in straight sets, avenging a loss just last week to Southeast. So I saw I don't know if anybody read the newspaper article, but Coach Room's very happy with the Lady Raiders and how they performed last night and feels that they're really starting to come together, which at the right time as you're getting down close to sub-state. They on the season now 8-9 on the year. They're next in action tomorrow. They're in a tournament up at Chanute. And then Tuesday, they will be at Columbus, where they'll be taking on, obviously, Columbus and also the Baxter Springs Lions. Cross country, they ran yesterday. It was the Pittsburgh meet out at Four Oaks Golf Course. One medalist yesterday for the Raiders, Jessica Peterson. She medaled at 5th. Excellent place. It's one of her best finishes on the year. So looks like maybe Jessica's peaking at the right time to, get up to regionals and possibly get a state berth. Their next meet next Thursday at Independence. Then girls golf, they played yesterday as well over at Columbus. As a team, they got second place as the team. Michelle Morissette, third place. Mallory Snow, 7th place. And Faith Hill, 9th place. So an excellent showing by the Lady Raiders golf team. They're next in action next week on Tuesday down at Baxter Springs.
So that's some of the goings on. And I mentioned, too, yesterday that they jumped out of practice. Coach Smith let them leave practice a little early and sent them to the volleyball to see some of them even got to see a little bit of the cross country at Four Oaks and then went and supported the volleyball team on the senior night and the pink out night. That's always a big night. They showed up with the pink T-shirts and everything, but showing their support and a lot of that in the school, and that's a good sign that, they're helping out each other's team and a good showing by the volleyball team. And, go out and support some of these other students, athletes every season work just as hard and, they need your support and deserve it. So go on out and enjoy because, again, we're getting toward the latter stages of the season where it's tournament time and the like, postseason. So, just look on the school's website to come up with some of the schedules if you have any questions. And, of course, if you're listening for Frontenac football, we have all their games home and away right here on 103.5 FM. And also stream the games live at ESPN1007.com along with the games from Pittsburgh, Colgan, and Girard. So, do keep it where it's at. And, we have all the sponsors make this possible. Go do business with them. We do. And, we've had excellent coverage halfway through the season. Looking forward to the second half and on into the postseason play. At halftime, Frontenac leads Harmon 47-6. And we'll be back after we take another 2-minute break. 2 minutes. You're listening to Frontenac football on 103.5 FM.
Watco Companies has been a member of the Pittsburgh community since 1983. Now a national freight transportation provider, Watco serves customers in 26 states by offering transportation, mechanical, and transload services. Whether transporting potatoes from Idaho, replacing rail cars in Iowa, or transloading rock in Alabama, Watco will never forget their roots because there's no place like home. Watco supports Pittsburgh community athletics and wishes all area teams the best of luck.
What's Community National Bank and Trust? Talking instant issue debit card, free checking and credit card. And let's not forget e-Power Checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Rob Strand back with Randy Southard. We're at Henderson Stadium, Harmon High School in Kansas City. We are at halftime. Frontenac Raiders lead the Harmon Hawks 47-6. And then again, kind of a long homecoming here. It is homecoming here at Harmon, so a lot of the activities, the band and the dance squad, and now some of the candidates for the King Queen. And interesting first half. And like we said earlier, I'm guessing, well, of course, we'll talk to Mark Smith after the game up here for a few post-game comments, but I'm sure he has to be pleased with this first half.
Yeah, absolutely. The team came out and just took it to them right away. Took the ball first, two plays and a score. Then the defense comes out, one play, you cause a fumble, penetration in the backfield, cause fumble, get the ball, score the next play. It's just a perfect start in no lackadaisical play at all. Really came prepared to play and take it to Harmon. That's what they did. And in Harmon's defense, they've got a lot of young kids. I think they have some talent if they can just get something up front. They're struggling up front right now, but they've got some young backs and receivers that I think could turn into something if they can just get something up front going on. They've got a couple more years with some of these kids. So who knows for Harmon in the future. Going to get tougher for them as they move up again up to 6A next year. It's going to be even tougher for them. But, they've got a few athletes. The Raiders have done, especially the starters, did a great job of keeping everything contained. Really, Harmon just couldn't hardly breathe when the starters were in on defense. JV came in, and first-string JV offense, first-team defense on JV, both did very well. Scored a touchdown, got stops on defense. They were down to about our third or fourth string, already in the first half for the Raiders, and that's when Harmon got their score. So, really overall just a very good first half for the Raiders, and, all the concerns that I had, apparently I was pretty foolish.
Well, and even at that, when they did score, they made a burn it.
Absolutely.
The big guy running, he made a good run on good second effort there. He was stopped short of the goal line and was able to, maybe where you saw the difference between their offenses. We were talking about earlier about the Terrence Johnson, and you had those younger kids in there. I mean, just physicality and stuff, but made an effort, and nice effort at that. And, of course, the Raiders with the big lead here at halftime, 47-6. And, again, of course, next week, be at home against Labette County as the Grizzlies come to town. And, of course, they were playing Fort Scott, and like you mentioned earlier, is their big SEK battle, probably for the league that's being played tonight. And
I'm sure after last year's game at Labette County, where the Raiders just dominated that football game and really put it on them, I'm sure Labette's looking forward to coming to Frontenac and trying to return the favor. So, the Raiders, it won't be easy, so they'll have to be prepared. But I tell you, if they come out ready to play like they have, last couple of weeks, it's been, and I know the competition's not been as good as what we've had the first 3 games of the year, but just their attitude and how they came out ready to play the last 2 weeks should really help next week and beyond the rest of the season.
Well, and you said you were a little on edge coming up here, and after we had watched some of the video, you were just a little on edge. Then when we saw them warming up, it was really on edge. And like I said, they just responded, and they played well, and trying to get through the second half and look forward to Labette County. But boy, how do you play it? The starters weren't out there very much.
Yeah, and I tell you, I was even more nervous. I was down on the field as the players were coming out for warm-ups, and I looked at one of the players that I know pretty well, and I said, "Hey, don't take him for granted." And he looked at me and goes, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. And I was like, "Oh no," it's just more of that attitude. I was made me more concerned before this game, but boy, the boys came out and really dominated. The first quarter in particular, but really the whole first half.
Yeah, and I had to, I had one who was unaccustomed to. He was quiet this week, and that usually means he's kind of a little bit on edge. I think he had some, a
little extra coaching this week.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Coach Smith got their attention. I think he did a little bit heavy on the conditioning last week and this week too, but it kind of got their attention, and I think they were quietly optimistic. Let's put it that way. And I got to mention too that he had his 18th birthday yesterday. So there was a lot going on. They were doing the volleyball, doing the birthday thing, they're getting this, but not distracted at all because the first half was very impressive by the Raiders, and they come out for the mandatory 3-minute warm-up before the start of the second half, and still waiting the arrival of Harmon. And again, like I said, you look next week, Labette County at home, and this is one of those, was to be a home game. We did have to lose a home game, would have been Southeast, and come up here, which if you heard the pregame when I was talking to Coach Smith, it was kind of like, if you had a home game with Southeast and compare that to travel to Kansas City to take on Harmon, a bigger school, a little bit of a culture shock, but in the long run, it could be a very good experience for them, and that's what you want them to have in high school.
Well, yeah, this has turned out to be, just exactly probably what the kids needed. You get the long trip that you're not used to. Could have been a problem, hasn't been. Now, if we make the playoffs and make a bit of a run in the playoffs, and you have to make a long road trip, we've done it. We've already done it and played well. So there's going to be nothing but positive. You can sit there and say, boys, you just defeated a 5A school. Dominated a 5A school, basically 2 classifications more or less, bigger than you. So the night so far, all positive. You just hope, the second half, the starters won't play at all. You'll have all the JV kids in, but you still want to try to avoid the injuries or anything like that. Let's just get this thing going and get out of here at this point.
So the Raiders at halftime lead the Hawks 47-6, and we'll take another 2-minute break before we start the second half. 2 minutes. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work. Like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
Now accepting new clients. At the Pet Care and Surgery Center, Dr. James Clark believes all of our pets deserve kind, humane, and loving treatment. From a simple checkup or rabies vaccination to performing major surgery. Plus, Dr. Clark has boarding, grooming, nutrition, and wellness checkups. Dr. James Clark can provide that loving member of your family with the treatment they deserve. Call 620-308-6454 to set up an appointment or simply visit petcarecenter.org. Pet Care and Surgery, making a difference.
Back with Randy Southard at Harmon High School in Kansas City. At halftime, Frontenac leads Harmon by a score of 47-6. The Raiders out warming up, stretching prior to the start of the second half. The Hawks still waiting for them to come out here on homecoming. A long halftime has had a lot of activities going on. Nice crowd here. And like we mentioned, the good first half for the Raiders. And again, see how the coaches decide to play this second half. And again, you want to stay away from those injuries heading into a home game against Labette County next week.
And Rob, I just came across another score, not necessarily local to our part of the world, but some schools that everyone will be familiar with. It's the war on 24, Silver Lake and Rossville. And Silver Lake leading Rossville 6-0 at the end of the third quarter. So those two teams battling it out yet again.
Always. That is a bloodbath when those two get after it, and year in, year out, and they've. Sounds like they got another one going in the third quarter, 6-0. Is playing some D. And I was trying to see, you got
Labette County now 20, Fort Scott 7. So Fort Scott on the board, but Labette County was still the 2-score lead. Baxter Springs 33, Riverton nothing.
And El Dorado and Rose Hill tied at 7, and that's who Harmon played last week.
Yeah.
It was El Dorado. So they were playing some of the little bigger schools there, and they're coming out for the mandatory 3-minute warm-up. And again, I mentioned that very hospitable here up at Harmon High School. Got to talk to the athletic director, Dennis Dorr, early in the week. Got to meet him down there, and he was very congenial, very hospitable. And boy, I said, this is a really nice turf, because you get down there, it is a nice playing surface. And he was talking with Frontenac AD Paul Colton, and I said, talk to our AD. This is something that we probably need.
Ruffle too many feathers there, Rob. But I tell you, everybody up here that we've come across, students, faculty, coaches, administration, parents, just everybody's treated us very well tonight. So been a very friendly contest, even with a lopsided score.
Yeah,
and you've seen good sportsmanship with the kids tonight too. Even some of the marginally late hits and stuff, you've seen kids help each other up. So nice to see that tonight. Even though the score has gotten out of hand, just the frustration not showing up on either side of the football, and no cheap shots of any kind tonight. So it's good to see.
And they ruffled a few feathers about the turf. We ruffled a few feathers and they moved the stadium. So I don't agree with that.
Only one feather at a time, Rob.
I don't agree with that still. But that's their business.
One feather at a time.
I mean, maybe when you win the lottery or something like that, I think you should donate some money and we'll get a turf going there. I know, like DJ McCarley and them would take care of the field. They'd be all for it. He'd kick in a couple bucks. Halftime, Frontenac leading Harmon 47-6, and again the Hawks won the opening coin toss, and they'll have the choice here to start the second half. Soon they'll take the football. And again, a reminder that all the Raiders games on 103.5 FM again this year after a brief hiatus to other climes, but back, and also the live stream at ESPN1007.com, and also check out the live stream for Pittsburgh, also Colgan and Girard also at that site. So you have your choice. And Nathan Kaufman going to handle the kickoff here. Tees it up at the 40-yard line. And as we talked last week, Nathan's got a good foot also. Back to receive the kick for the Hawks is Terrence Johnson. Approaches the ball. Short line drive, and it takes a roll inside. Well, it's going to check up about the 11, and one of the Hawks goes back and grabs it. It is a live ball, and he's able to get it out to about the 14-yard line.
I couldn't tell if that was Storm Nix or Cale Bridwell on the tackle. I think it was Storm Nix down on kick coverage making a play.
Yeah, I was trying to see who actually had the return there, which was a good effort by one of the Hawks, as that ball was live there, and I believe that was Jose Arambula.
Well, I tell you, I'd like some leadership being shown on the far side. Brock Ginnivan all excited about that kick coverage team, jumping up, giving the high fives, hollering at the defense, encouraging this Raider defense to play well, not letting more scores.
And 1st and 10, a penalty flag is motion there as the Hawks start 1st and 10 from their own 14, and they've had an issue with this all night where you get a couple of moving, and
and that's
a 5-yard mark off.
The wing back on the far side, he moved forward, so that makes it a false start, not just two men in motion.
1st and 15, Hawks from their own. Yeah, now they got it marked back at about the 8-yard line. And the quarterback is the senior, Chris Young. And the dive up the middle, and Frontenac dragging some tacklers, and that was Michael Carson.
Yeah, the first middle linebacker actually read the play quite well, filled the hole, but missed the tackle. Kind of didn't take just the perfect angle to make the play, but then the second backer, Bollinger, able to grab a hold and hold on and get him down.
Carson able to pick up 6 yards on that carry. And 2nd and 9 for the Hawks from their own 15-yard line. And Young under the center. Pitch, sweep, left side, and it falls to the ground and retrieved by another of the Hawks, and that was the quarterback who went back and picked it up, and he's buried, is Chris Young, back at about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, just tried to basically continue the play, but KW Hell getting up the field again from that defensive end spot. Had Hayden Pyle chasing it down from the backside between two of them, throwing for a big loss. So, again, some ball security issues for the Hawks, and it doesn't result in a turnover, but a big loss.
And that was designed to be handoff, and I'll tell you what, Young did well to go back and get it. He tried to make something out of it, and it was just had broken well before they could ever get anything going. 3rd, 16, Hawks from their own 7-yard line. Young under the center, looking to throw. Near side, puts it up, puts some air under it, and it's complete. A nice catch. And loose on the receiving end, that is Marlo Bowens, and he is dragged down on Raider territory about the 39. What a nice pass and catch. As, boy, they torched the defensive back, and Bowens caught it in stride, turned it into a big gain.
Yeah, his best thrown ball tonight by far. Puts some nice air under the ball and just laid it perfect. Corner on this side, not torched badly, but just enough to where he could drop that ball in and get the big gain. And he's down in some obvious pain. He's kind of writhing around on the ground a little bit. I wonder if maybe he came down on the football, maybe knocked the air out of him, so to speak, a little bit.
And Marlo Bowens, who made the nice catch and run, and almost looked like he was going to be able to split some defenders and head the distance, but they made it up and was able to bring him down at the 39 of the Raiders, and again, he's still prone. It's a pretty good shot. And, Chris Young through the year now 7 of 17, 145 yards. He was intercepted once, and the Hawks did lose 3 fumbles. We're down to 10-18 left here in the third quarter, and Frontenac 47-6 lead.
Yeah, still on the ground, and they're just kind of talking to him, not even particularly looking at him.
If that was maybe just like you said, it just came down clumsily, maybe knocked the air out of him, and boy, when that does happen, you can't catch your breath. You got to get a little panicky there. It's a bad feeling, but apparently under his own power coming to the near sideline. And so big gain for the Hawks, and Harmon will have a 1st and 10 from the Frontenac 39-yard line. And I smell smoke.
Can't tell if it's smoke
that doesn't smell like barbecue. I don't
know.
I'm hoping it is barbecue somewhere. 1st and 10, and looking to throw back, and it is complete. And near side, 35, and still on his feet, about the 32-yard line. And on the receiving end was Michael Carson, a nice play.
Yeah, they set the screen up. They invite the rush, get the defensive lineman upfield, then throw the ball to the screen to the back. Now, I believe he did catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage because they had a lineman about 8 yards downfield. But if the pass is behind the line, there's no flag for an illegal man downfield, and I think that was the case.
2nd and 2 for the Hawks from the Raiders' 31-yard line. Young under the center. There's a give and trying to sweep the right side and turn the corner, and some tough yardage there. Michael Reed thrown for a loss back at about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and that's Bollinger getting to him, chasing it down from middle linebacker. You had Chastain on the outside, kind of slowed him up, but Bollinger showing pretty good speed to get out there to the outside and make that play.
So a loss of 4 for Michael Reed on his initial carry. And the Hawks face a 3rd, let's call it 7, from their own 36-yard line. A little indecision in lining up here. Trying to get it straight. A couple of wide outs left side, one to the right. Slot left. Young. Now he reverses, comes near side, able to turn the corner and force a scramble. He's inside the 30. Boy, runs into his own player, and then a couple Raiders catch up and down him at the 27.
Yeah, the Raiders bring the blitz, and it gets there really late and able to get around the end. Again, just not able to keep some outside contain. It's happened several times to the Raiders tonight. So
1st and 10 for the Hawks from the Raiders' 27-yard line with 8:54 remaining third quarter. Frontenac the 47-6 lead. Three split right, one wide left. Single running back behind Young under the center. There's some movement there, no call. Pressured, Young steps inside, some pressure. Now he's loose, scrambling near side. Cuts it in the middle, bowls over tackler inside the 20, down to the 18. Boy, nice effort there by Young. Again, he picks up about 8.
Well, it's been about their best play in this game is paying back the pass and let him scramble. Either that or chuck it as far as he can and hope a receiver makes a play. But showing some good elusiveness from the quarterback spot on the scramble.
2nd and 2. Hawks from the Raiders' 19-yard line, down to 8:08 remaining. At the quarterback is Terrence Johnson. Tries to turn the corner, boy, a missed tackle there. Now they got him hemmed in. He's still on his feet, and he's finally brought down back at about the 33-yard line. And boy, what an effort. And avoided the initial pressure, but just ran out of room back there as some Raiders were following up. And the Raiders down.
Yeah, that's Hayden Pyle on the far side. He was the one with the initial pressure. Kind of took the stiff arm and went to the ground kind of awkwardly. Then the rest of the rush able to come and hem him in, get him down for the sack.
Yeah, there's a different look there as they put Johnson in there at quarterback. He is actually Terrence Johnson unofficially 10 carries minus 20 yards. He does have the touchdown. .7:53 remaining here in the third quarter. Frontenac the 47-6 lead, and trainer attending to Hayden Pyle and working on, looks like that left leg. So
yeah,
trying that knee maybe.
Looking at his knee.
And had the initial pressure, kind of missed that tackle, and then some of the supporting cast came in and threw him for a big loss, and now he's down. I'll tell you what, 7:53 remaining third quarter. Frontenac 47-6 lead. Let's take a 30-second break, 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac football on 103.5 FM.
Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing can tow all cars, trucks, and some semi-tractors and trailers in town or cross country. Larry Barrett has emergency wrecker service for all accidents, 24-hour towing. Been in an accident? Then call the pros. They have quality auto body repairing and painting from certified technicians for all major and minor repair jobs, and they can deal directly with the insurance companies, taking the stress out of your life. Go to barrettbodyframe.com or stop in and see them at 1601 East 27th Street Terrace or call 232-9400. That's Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing. Customer service first. See them fast in names and numbers.
The City of Frontenac is a proud supporter of Frontenac High School athletics and academics. The City of Frontenac was founded in 1886 and is home to just over 3,100 residents. Frontenac citizens enjoy a small-town atmosphere and all that a close-knit community has to offer. Situated on the crossroads of two major highways, those living in Frontenac can easily travel and enjoy the amenities of larger cities in a shorter travel distance. The community boasts an outstanding school system, low taxes, complete city services, including 24-hour police and fire protection. Good luck, Raiders, from the mayor, city council, and staff.
And Rob Strand back with Randy Southern. Apparently a penalty against the Hawks, and boy, they had a wide receiver right side was uncovered, and they hit it for a 12-yard gain.
Yeah, a few more faces in the secondary now, and that time just either not ready or not aware of what's going on because they had a wide receiver standing all by himself.
Officially 9 completions and 19 attempts, 165 yards for Chris Young. He was picked once, and Hawks did lose 3 fumbles, so a third, and let's call it 14 for the Hawks. Now at the Raiders' 31-yard line. Got wide out to both sides, slots both sides, single setback behind Young, rolling left. Full forced to scramble, still on his feet. Boy, he's going to put it up, and it kind of waffles out there and up for grabs, and it's caught. And once again, that's Terrence Johnson. He could turn this into a score as it's raced to the pylon. And let's see, it's close. See if he got it.
I think they're going to mark him just short. I think they're going to mark him down at the 1. Yeah, but Johnson just makes a good athletic play. Quarterback just threw it up again. Just a prayer, a hope and a prayer.
Yeah, one of the Raider defenders there's eyes lit up as that was kind of waffling to him, but it took too much time, and Johnson made the adjustment, got it at its peak, and turned it into a big 30-yard gain, and the Hawks with a 1st and goal from the Raiders 1. Young under the center. There's a give, the dive up the middle, and in for the score from a yard out. And try and see, there's kind of a...
Well, I'm not sure, to be quite honest. I was the fullback. It was just straight dive, straight up the middle. He got good and low and was able to kind of root down underneath there, get across the goal line for the score.
I'm trying to see. I still haven't picked up a number. It was kind of a... The quarterback just handed the single setback back
may have
there.
been
21. I believe maybe we'll go with that as Isaiah Rush. So it's 6:41. Rush from a yard out. And they're going to go for 2. Young, again, they put it up in the corner, and boy, nothing there as the intended receiver turned in. The throw went to the corner, and it falls incomplete. So 6:41 remaining third quarter. Frontenac 47. Harmon 12. We'll be back with the kickoff. After a 30-second break, you're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons, open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast in names and numbers.
Third quarter, Frontenac 47, Harmon 12. Hawks to kick off and teeing it up at the 40. It's Michael Jacobo. Watch for the onside kick, and back to receive the kick is Brendan Ishamira, also Alex Johnson back there, and also Brant Chance. And some of the, this looks like the regular kick return team right now. They're expecting the onside kick, which they did get to start the game. Story came up with that. And again, the onside kick, and Ishamir are going to take it and go to a knee at about the 43-yard line.
I don't mind that play by the Frontenac coaching staff at all. Get the most sure hand guys out there. We haven't had the ball yet in the second half, so secure the football and let the offense get out there. Which looks like we've got the starting offense coming out on the field. I am surprised.
So I imagine maybe Coach Smith thinking just get them in the second half here, maybe a series of downs, sees how it goes. And 1st and 10, Raiders. They'll start from their own 43-yard line. Again, Brown back in at quarterback with Lloyd, the running back, to his left. There's a quick, and it is caught. That is Brendan Ishamira, almost picked off. He's loose along the far sideline inside the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. And boy, a matter of inches, as that was almost a pick six, turns into a score for the Raiders.
Yeah, it's a long throw. The Raiders are on the right hash, and this is thrown all the way to the numbers on the far side of the field. Boy, it looked like it was going to be picked off and taken for a touchdown, but it doesn't. Ishamira makes the catch, gets one good block by Wilbert out there with him, and then just showed good speed down the sideline to put it in the end zone.
And again, the extra point attempt by Trey Harris out of the hold of Jake Wilbert. And placement down. That kick, boy, boomed that one through. 6:29 left third quarter. Frontenac 54 and Harmon 12. And we'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
If you're in the mood for shopping, visit Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall. Pittsburgh's original one-stop shopping center has a lot to offer. A great variety of clothing and shoes for the whole family, a large selection of gifts, sporting goods, events, and entertainment, plus terrific places to eat, and you can enjoy the newest movies in 8 theaters. Shop the comfortable and convenient atmosphere at Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall. There's always something happening at Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall.
Advanced technology, comprehensive quality care. That's Canar Eye Care. We have the newest technology, but we never lose sight of what's most important, our patients. Eye care has changed dramatically in recent years, and we've been there for you every step of the way. At Canar Eye Care, patients spend time with doctors. Total eye care from contact lenses, including bifocal contacts, treatment of disease, and surgical co-management. Canar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers. Jocksnitz has all your hometown needs to get you geared up for the football game. New Pitt State gear has already arrived, such as hats, tees, sweatshirts, license plates, koozies, and even tees for your dog. We are your stop to make before headed to tailgate. There's only one Gorilla Nation, and there's only one Gorilla Gear headquarters, Jocksnitz Sporting Goods. Check us out in downtown Pittsburgh and Park.
You got the sports look of the day. Sporting goods from Jocksnitz.
On that kick, Harmon takes over 1st and 10 from its own 31-yard line, and now some motion. Going to go procedure call against the Hawks before the snap. As again, the first team offense went in their first series, down the first team defense in there, probably for one series here, just to get off the bench here in the second half, and then.
Well, Harmon tried a little trickery there. They had a wide receiver look like he was going off the field. He stopped right at the edge of the sideline, thinking maybe the Raiders would think he went all the way off the field. Middle linebacker Ishimura saw it, pointed it out, took that away. Then you get the false start penalty.
So 1st and 15 for the Hawks from their own 26-yard line. Again, the quarterback is Chris Young. Had a nice return on the kickoff, and boy, pressured as he's forced to scramble, puts it up, got a man, and it is, did he make the catch? No, incomplete.
Good pressure again. It's with the starters back in. You got Cummins, Mays up the middle, off the edge. Get to that side was to Ginnivan. Actually, a pretty good throw on the run when under some duress. Ball dropped along the sideline. And it looks like Cooper Loy coming off the field a little shaken up as he was in coverage.
Yeah, he was in coverage. Had him pretty well covered. It was a pretty good throw, but it looks like maybe he went down on a shoulder or something, kind of moving that around. And there's that Kate Chastain in there now on that side at the linebacker spot. 2nd and 15, looking to pass. Some pressure, and boy, oh boy, Mays in there. I don't know if they were designed to be a screen or not, but boy, he was in the backfield quick and threw him down. Pass falls incomplete.
And they're going to call intentional grounding is what the call is.
Yeah, wasn't anybody over there. He was running for his life. I thought it was a pretty decent play to get rid of it, but yeah, he's going to be penalized on top of it as a flag down at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and this should carry a loss of down with it as well. So be 3rd down, put the ball placed all the way back at the 5-yard line. But again, the pressure just is immediate and immense by the starting defense.
Right, you get in there and now he doesn't have time to dance around out there, and he just forced to scramble, and there wasn't much. That was doomed from the snap. So 3rd and a mile for the Hawks from their own 5-yard line. And, boy, there's going to be a sack as who got in there? Was that Nathan Kaufman got in there, and quarterback, oh, boy. Yeah, Chris Young didn't have a chance.
Yeah, lined up middle linebacker, and he comes on just a blitz right up the gut, untouched, right on the quarterback before he could even get to the back of his drop. So get the safety, 2 more points for the Raiders, and the defense just comes out, and I'm sure the starters are actually probably a little frustrated just because they were taken out of the game so early in this one. So they're just happy to be back out on the field, so they're ready to go make some plays.
I'm wondering if that might be about the Swans on for that first team defense in there, and that also.
Well, yeah, I wonder too. What's the rules on the running clock? Up by how many? Because
I thought technically it was the fourth quarter, but I don't know.
Yeah, because I think that may just be kind of the signal. Hey, let's run the clock and get this over with.
56-12, Frontenac the lead with 6:06 left here in the third quarter. After the safety, Harmon to kick. And again, teeing it up. Michael Jacobo at the 20. And again, the Raiders with the hands team in, or a regular return team in there, expecting another attempt at an onside kick. And they have been good kicks. We just handled them well. The few that went over went about 12 yards, but we've been able to come up with it. One time Story and the other time Ishimura. Again, an onside kick, and Ishimura whiffs on that one too. Did as Riley McDaniel saw it go through the hands, and then it goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, they've done a really good job all night this time. But the ball kicked hard enough where it just had enough momentum. It was going to get out of bounds before anybody from Harmon could get to it.
Yeah, if you keep it going toward the sideline, you're probably in pretty good shape. It's better than stopping it and risking it staying in the field of play.
In a way, it's a little tough for the kickoff team to do that because they're on the hash. And then they're kicking it to the short side, into the boundary. So there's not a lot of room to make that play.
So, new faces back in on the offense, and the quarterback in there for the Frontenac Raiders, Kyle Kubler. He's a sophomore, 5'6", 125. First and 10 for the Raiders from the 45, and there's a give to Rayo, and he's still on his feet, cuts back, and he's able to pick up close to 8 yards.
Good hard run by Rayo. Pretty good push on the left side of the offensive line. The JV squad in there and giving him a little bit of room, then good hard running on that.
Pick up of 8. Second and 2 for the Raiders from the Hawks 37-yard line. Clock moving here, third quarter, 5:35 remaining. It's 56-12.
Couple score updates from Pittsburgh now up 12-0 on Andover Central. Galena 28, Coffeyville 7, and Derby is now winning 40-31 over Bishop Carroll.
Kubler going to keep it, try the middle. Boy, not much there as he gets thrown down about the line of scrimmage.
Well, didn't get that push in the offensive line that time. In fact, the line of scrimmage kind of got pushed back about a yard, so the offensive line getting pushed back. So it's a good job by the defensive line for Harmon.
So 3rd and 2 for the Raiders from the Hawks 37-yard line. Down to 4:50 left here in the third quarter. In Frontenac, the 56-12 lead. Going out wide to left, McGinney, joined out there by Austin Souter. Running backs in the eye behind Kubler, the quarterback. Versus out, gives it to tailback Reyes. Got the first down and more. He takes it up the middle, and he's planted about the 30-yard line after a gain of 6 yards.
Good hole up the middle, but I tell you, we had one lineman didn't even touch anybody on that play. So, if he goes and gets a block too, who knows how far it would have gotten. But good blocking up front initially and just not quite getting to the second level to make it a big one, but convert the third down into a first down. So, good job.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders. From the short of the Hawks 30-yard line, Kubler under the center, and he gives to Rayo once again. Boy, he avoids the first tackler. Good penetration there by the Hawks defense, but Rayo able to turn it into a yard gain.
Yeah, pretty good hard running there, twisting and turning, and able to pick up the one. Did well just to get to there.
2nd and 9. Raiders football resting at the Hawks 30-yard line. Down to 3:38 left third quarter. And again, Frontenac up 56-12. They're just going to go 3-2 on the season with Labette County coming to town on Friday. The Grizzlies come a-calling. Wide to the left this time goes Austin Souter. Slot left, Rayo. Kubler out of the gun. The blocking back to the left, Drew Bollinger. There's a give. No, a little miscommunicated. Kubler keeps it, has some room inside the 20, the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Kyle Kubler goes in from 30.
Yeah, I'm not sure it looked right, but I do think that was zone read, and Kubler decided to keep it and had a big hole left side. Able to show a little bit of speed, get to the outside, and outrun him to the corner of the end zone. So good job by Kubler.
So Kubler with a couple of carries, 30 yards and a touchdown. So nice effort there. And, well, they're going to go ahead and put the regular PAT team in for this conversion. Again, Trey Harris there along with Jake Wilbert. Gets the ball down and kick is up, and it is good. 3:09 left here in the third quarter. Frontenac 63 and Harmon 12. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac football on 103.5 FM.
At Lindbergh Pharmacy, we care about your health. From a qualified and caring staff to services like our Time My Meds and MedPack programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our text alert program, and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
Back with Randy Southard. We have 3:09 remaining third quarter. Frontenac leading Harmon 63-12, and again handling the kickoff for the Frontenac Raiders. Nathan Kaufman tees it up at the 40, and back to receive the kick again. This time is Chris Young. Boy, he bobbles it once, picks it up, brings it across the 15, near side 25, and tripped up and brought down as he crosses the 30. And a nice tackle in the open field there by Benny Adar.
Yeah, good job. Form tackle into the legs. Nice play.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks from their own 32-yard line. Let's see, we've got, there's KW Hale back in there at the end. Also Buddy Sexton, as we mentioned. Colby Bevins. Defensive end on the left side is Alex Story. And there's a pitch, sweep to the right side, and again, that is Terrence Johnson, and he tries to cut back and is brought down shy of the 35 after gaining about 3.
Yeah, Chastain with good outside leverage that time turned him in, and there was Bollinger coming in on the tackle, so good job. Chastain turns it in, Story and Bollinger clean it up.
And also back there, Brendan Mosier, linebacker spot, trying to get some of the other Rayo, and we've also got Beckman. There's that Brent Chance over in the corner far side, and there's a pitch, sweep to the left side, and unable to turn the corner, and, well, nice effort there. Didn't quite get the tackle, but they were able to hold up the ball carrier, and that was Michael Reed, and he was stopped for a short gain. And
yeah, Cale Bridwell did a good job fighting off the block and able to get to the outside, keeping that outside contained. Didn't quite get him down, but held him up long enough where everybody else could come and get him. But overall, good play by Bridwell to fight through the block and keep that outside from getting around.
And it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Hawks from their own 38-yard line. Down to a minute 16 left third quarter, and Frontenac with that 63-12 lead. Young rolling right, looking to throw, forced to scramble, some pressure, puts it up, and boy, nice pass, touch pass, complete out to the 47-yard line. And trying to see on the receiving end that time, I believe that was Isaiah Rush. That was a nice pitch and catch there.
Yeah, another good throw. Kind of had to throw it over one defender and drop it down into him, and able to complete it and pick up that first down. And I've got a final in that Silver Lake Rossville game tonight. Silver Lake wins 14-0 over Rossville.
So 1st and 10 for the Hawks from their own 46-yard line, down to 28 seconds left here in the third quarter. And Young under the center, looking, rolling left. Now forced to scramble, avoids one tackler. Boy, now a penalty flag goes down. I don't know if you get in the area where you got a hold, but a nice effort there by Colby Bevins as he throws Young for a big loss.
Yeah, Story with the initial pressure, and then Bevins getting in there as well to clean that up, and it is a hold, which I'm sure will be declined here as they'll take the sack and take the down. Oh, Well, they're moving the ball back. So maybe the Raiders, they accepted the penalty because it's a penalty from the spot of the foul. So that's going to move it way back.
And that's the end of the third quarter. Into the fourth quarter, Frontenac leads Harmon 63-12. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
Haynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist. Haynes handles all driveline repairs for cars, trucks, four-wheel drive vehicles, and farm equipment. Haynes can also handle any general machine work and offers 24-hour record service. Call Haynes anytime, 231-3170. Haynes Incorporated is located at the intersection of West McKay and Highway 69 Frontenac Junction. Haynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist.
Proud supporter of Frontenac Athletics.
Rob Strand back with Randy Southard, and we're heading to the fourth quarter as Frontenac leading Harmon 63-12, and Hawks will have the football, and let's see, well, they have it marked as a 1st and 29. What? They did take the penalty, like you said, and they were a big sack, but it's from the
spot of the foul.
Yeah, so gosh, 1st and a mile. 1st and about 30 from their own 25, and Young forced a scramble. He's going to put it up. Got a man open, and boy, he got loose. And he is going to go all the way after breaking about 3 tackles. Terrence Johnson and tripped up
he didn't make
to
it.
the goal line. Oh my!
Brent Chance, and it's a busted coverage. The cornerback ends up sucking up as it looks like the quarterback's going to take off and run the ball, and so the corner sucks up, leaves the receiver wide open. They get it to him. Yeah, he breaks the tackle of the free safety, breaks the tackle of Chance, who goes down, but then gets up and chases him down, tackles him probably about inside the 1 yard line. And
I believe you're seeing Terrence Johnson again, and he had the cramping issue after a nice play in the first half there, and I think maybe he got
this may be a case of landing on the ball again or possibly cramping, but what an effort by Chance, though, to not give up on the play.
And I'll tell you, it's 63-12, but look at this is the unofficial stats. They are mostly official. But Chris Young through there, dozen completions, 24 attempts, 279 yards. And so he's racking up some yardage, some long pass plays. A little deceptive there because a lot of time he's been running for his life when he was playing that first team D, and now he's getting some numbers up there. But that's, you're flirting with the 300-yard night through the air at the high school. You've had a pretty good night, but down 63-12, and a good sign is Terrence Johnson's been a workhorse, and he's kind of gingerly coming over to the Hawks sideline. And Harmon will have a 1st and goal from the Frontenac 1. Trying to cut into that 63-12 lead. And again, under the center. And there's Chris Young. Set back behind him. They give the dive and in for the touchdown. And on the carry was Isaiah Rush.
Yeah, just straight dive, got nice and low underneath both offensive defensive lines, and pretty easy score from the 1.
So Isaiah Rush, his 2nd touchdown. And let the Hawks go for 2. And again, Young get under center as the Harmon goes for the 2-point conversion. And boy, scrambling, avoids the first, but boy, a nice second effort there as the initial pressure from Drew Bollinger, and he stayed with it. He got some help from the outside, and the 2-point conversion attempt fails. So 11:24 remaining, 63-18, Frontenac lead. Take another 30-second break. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
If you are injured in an accident or on the job, it is vitally important that you hire the right attorney. Before choosing an attorney, you should make sure they have the resources to fight large corporations or insurance companies. Your attorney should have extensive trial court experience and a track record of success. The Spigarelli Law Firm, with offices in Pittsburgh and Coffeyville, has experience, resources, and reputation to provide the quality representation your claim deserves. Fred Spigarelli has received the top rating from his peers with the Martindale-Hubbell Independent Rating System. His firm has the resources to hire the experts and physicians needed to properly present your claim. The Spigarelli Law Firm has successfully tried cases for over 40 years, taking numerous
Frontenac 63, Harmon 18, running clock down to 10:09, and the Hawks to kick off. And again, teeing it up is Michael Jacobo at the 40. And again, the Raiders expecting the onside kick, although it isn't the first team, hands team in there, as this is a new group. As Jacobo approaches, and this time he pops it up behind the line, and boy, it's loose, and coming up with it is Harmon, as one of the Raiders take the catch over the shoulder, Storm Nix, and missed connections, and it hopped up and was recovered by the Hawks. So Harmon in business again after a successful, just kind of popped it up over the back, basically the second line of defense, and nobody was there, and just perfect kick.
Yeah, perfect kick, and I think surprise, they've done on the ground to the short side of the field the whole game. First time they go over the top and to the far side of the field, works out for them. So ball back, clock running with about 9 minutes to go.
1st and 10 Hawks as they'll start from the Raiders 33-yard line. Again, Young, need another player coming in from the sideline as Jose Arambula dropping back to pass, and going long is Young, and it's up for grabs, and it falls incomplete. Boy, Beckman was back there, but almost a nice adjustment by Rudy Ramirez. He almost come down with it.
Yeah, Beckman in really good position, but Chance has been in good position a couple times too, and the ball's still caught. But so give Harmon receivers some credit for going and fighting for the ball. But Beckman, good job getting a hand in there and breaking it up.
So 2nd and 10. Hawks from the Raiders' 33-yard line with clock moving down to 8:15. 63-18. Frontenac to win, or the lead, excuse me. Again, Young going all the way at quarterback. Pitch, sweep, left side to the big guy, and boy, there was a nice effort by Terrence Johnson, and I couldn't see who got him by the jersey, but didn't let him go, and threw Johnson for a big loss.
Yeah, I think that was Alex Story that got to him. I tell you, good job by Story. Gets across the ball as deep as the ball, takes on the blocker with outside leverage, manages to, I thought he was just going to turn him in, but he managed to go ahead and grab the jersey and just wouldn't let go.
So it'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 18 for the Hawks from the Raiders' 41-yard line with clock moving, running clock down to 7:28. With that 63-18 lead as the Hawks get the offensive set. Young under the center, dropping back to pass. Boy, they got a screen left side, and boy, it's a jailbreak here, and Young forced to scramble, and boy, he's just going to put it up for grabs along the sideline, almost picked off and running out of real estate along the sideline. That was Cale Bridwell, and the pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, they just let the defensive line go completely, trying to set up the middle screen. I'm not sure why he didn't throw it to him. Should have been open, but I'm not sure he could find him.
That might be the case because there was about 4 defensive linemen right in his face, which is the way the play is designed, but that was pretty abrupt.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what he was facing like most of the first half.
Yeah, but not by design.
No. So again, we're into the running clock with 6:35 remaining, and 4th and 18. Hawks from the Raiders' 41-yard line, and waning moments of this one. And This time, short a man, Young looking to the sideline.
They're going to have to call
a
timeout.
timeout. So, yeah, a little timeout called by Harmon as they were short a man with 6:16 remaining and 63-18. Let's take a 30-second break. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
Having a confident smile can change everything, and Invisalign makes that decision easy because you can have a stunning smile without most people even knowing you're going through treatment. Saya Smile Center is proud to be a premier provider of Invisalign. Your Invisalign treatment will consist of a series of aligners that you switch out every 2 weeks. Each aligner will gradually shift your teeth perfectly into place, giving you the smile you always dreamed of. Saya Smile Center today for your no-cost consultation. Saya Smile Center, 4095 Parkview Drive in Frontenac, 620-231-7242.
It's probably just noise.
Rob Strandbeck with Randy Southard, 6:16 remaining. Frontenac 63, Harmon 18 in fourth, and 18 for the Hawks from the Raiders 41. Looking to pass, throwing it up, putting it up over the middle, up for grabs, and a nice, he almost had it as Beckman had him covered, and again was batted in the air, and almost a nice recovery by Rudy Ramirez, but he couldn't find the handle down inside the 10.
Yeah, deflected and pretty good concentration to find it and just slipped through his hands. So the Raiders would take over on downs out at 41.
You know, they have those tall, lanky receivers,
Yeah.
and like you mentioned, they've got some size, and
and
it looks like they're covered, and they're just making the good adjustment, getting it going over them, getting it at the height.
Well, in Frontenac's corners, even the starting corners don't exactly have a lot of height to them. They're good speed, good cover, good quickness, and toughness, but they don't have a lot of height. So, it's no different than when Ginnivan catches it out there, and there's a big size advantage for us.
So Ty Gates in at quarterback for the Raiders, and he hands it off to the setback, trying the right side and picking up 8 yards. That's Drew Bollinger.
Yeah, good hard run, right side of the line. Getting pretty good push over there, and then Bollinger running really hard. Good run.
So he's able to pick up 8 on that carry. 2nd and 2, Raiders. Football just shy their own 49-yard line with clock moving down to 4:55. Frontenac up 63-18. Mentioned Ty Gates, quarterback, 5'11", 140-pound freshman. Running backs in the eye behind him. And there's a give and to the tailback, and on the carry and wrestling his way down to the 40-yard line. Nice run by Storm Nix.
Yeah, nice hole. Left side of the offensive line doing a really good job. Good to see Gates out on the field. First JV game of the year against Girard. He suffered a knee injury. Nothing too severe, but it's kept him out for several weeks. So good to see him recovered from that knee injury and back out there on the field.
So 1st and 10, Raiders from the Hawks 41-yard line. We're down to 4:05 remaining. Split wide right is Cole Ferrero. Out wide to the left side is Connor Taylor. Running backs again in the eye. There's a give once again to Nix. And he's got 3 yards.
Yeah, I think the Raiders are going to be pretty decent at quarterback position. I think I like all 3 kids that have played tonight, other than the starter, Brown, who played excellent as well. But, you got Beckman, who came in, played well at quarterback. Kubler came in, he played very well, and he's more of the runner. Beckman he can run it, but he's pretty good throwing the football. And then Gates coming in. I really like this Gates. Young player, just a freshman, can really spin the ball when he throws it, and has pretty good speed as well.
And in the center now is Griffin Sauter. And there's a dive, and boy, not much going for the fullback. Ready to do a wall. Trying to see, and on that carry, that time was Clay Jamison.
We got some final scores for you. Pittsburgh holds on and beat Andover Central 12-7. Central was driving, and PHS got a sack on the final play of the game to preserve the win. Galena 28, Coffeyville 7. That's a final. Labette County 34, Fort Scott 7. That's a final. Baxter handles Riverton 47-0. And actually, I'm sorry, I think that's all that I've got right now. I've yet to see another score on the Colgan-Girard game.
Dylan Inch in there, an offensive line, along with Trent Hessong. There's a give, and that's Nix. Got some room, right side. Rumbles inside the 35, and see where they mark him. May give him about the 33-yard line.
Well, and Rob, just as I said, I hadn't seen the final on Colgan-Girard. I've got it now. Colgan 28, Girard 12.
So a big win for the Panthers over the Trojans there at Hutch Field. 4th and 2, Raiders from the Hawks 33 with 1:55 remaining. Dakota Pryor in there, enters the lineup for the Raiders. And he goes to the right side, trying to get him set over there. Going out wide to the left is Strand, Trey Strand. And taking a knee is, whoa. I think one of the Raider offensive linemen was taking it easy on the snap, and he got planted. In any event, took a knee, and the ball will go over.
Oh, I guess that was 4th down, so we'll see. Clock still running, about just right at a minute to go.
So 1st and 10 for the Hawks from their own 35. Nobody on the wide receiver, and it's underthrown. Boy, they didn't have a defender on Rudy Ramirez, but the pass fell incomplete.
Well, that's happened a couple of times, especially with the JV kids out there, that they've left somebody wide open, just not seeing them apparently.
2nd and 10, Hawks from their own 35, down to 27 seconds remaining. Young to throw again, forced to scramble. The boys 1 tackler, 2, 3. 4th, reverses his field. He's out across the 40, 45, midfield, and finally dragged down at the 47 of the Raiders.
Again, they're pretty much their best play has been him just trying to scramble, but again, it's also been against Frontenac's JV and 3rd and 4th string teams.
And the Raiders, the time runs out, and Frontenac with a 63-18 win over the Harmon Hawks. And again, we'll have the unofficial stat scoring summary, a conversation with Mark Smith after we take a minute break. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
No one wants to file for bankruptcy, but a wage garnishment can make it hard to pay the rent, pay the pharmacy, or even feed the family. Bankruptcy can be a viable option to help families cope with unfortunate and unforeseen financial hardship. Call Steve Sox and Towner, 620-231-5620. Consultation to find out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you and your family. Call today. Wilbert and Towner, a full-service law firm, 620-231-5620. We are a debt relief agency, helping people find the relief they need in bankruptcy.
There's too much. How do you think? I mean, Bob Strand back with Randy Southard. The Frontenac Raiders knock off the Harmon Hawks 63-18, and before Raiders coach Mark Smith comes up for a few post-game comments, we'll go over the scoring summary. The Frontenac Raiders scored with 11:44 remaining first quarter. A 9-yard touchdown run by quarterback Peyton Brown. Trey Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 7, Harmon nothing with 11:44 remaining first quarter. Then 11:32 in the first quarter after a turnover. The Raiders scored again, this time a 20-yard pass from Peyton Brown to Brock Ginnivan. Trey Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 14 and Harmon nothing with 11:32 remaining in the first quarter. Then 7:33 remaining in quarter number one. Brendan Ishimura, a 16-yard touchdown run. Trey Harris, extra point good. It's Frontenac 21 and Harmon nothing with 7:33 remaining in the first quarter. Then 4:38 remaining in quarter number one. Touchdown pass from Peyton Brown to Riley McDaniel of 13 yards. Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 28. And Harmon nothing with 4:38 remaining in the first quarter. Then with 57.4 seconds remaining first quarter, It was Cooper Loy going over 33-yard touchdown run. The extra point by Harris Good. 35 for Frontenac, nothing for Harmon with 57.4 seconds remaining in the first quarter. That's the way the first quarter ended with the Raiders up 35-0. Then more in the second quarter with 11:56 remaining in that first half. Jake Wilbert scored from 2 yards out. The extra point attempt failed. It was Frontenac 41, Harmon nothing with 11:56 remaining in the first half. Then with 9:12 remaining in the first half, Wilbert again from 8 yards out. Extra point failed. It was Frontenac 47, Harmon nothing with 9:12 remaining in the first half. Then with 5:13 remaining in the first half, Harmon scored a 1-yard run by Terrence Johnson. 2-point conversion attempt failed. It was Frontenac 47, Harmon 6 with 5:13 remaining in the first half. That's where we stood at halftime, Frontenac up 47-6. In that third quarter, Harmon scored with 6:41 remaining, a 1-yard run by Isaiah Rush. The extra point attempt, 2-point conversion attempt failed. It was Frontenac 47 and Harmon 12 with 3 quarters in the third quarter with 6:41 remaining. Then 6:29 remaining, Frontenac scored a 57-yard pass from Peyton Brown to Renan Ishamira. The extra point by Trey Harris Good. It was Frontenac 54 and Harmon 12 with 6:29 remaining in the third quarter. Then 6:05 remaining in the third quarter. Nathan Kaufman tackled the quarterback for a safety. Frontenac led at 56-12 with 6:05 remaining in the third quarter. Then 3:09 remaining in the third quarter. Kyle Kubler from his quarterback spot scored from 30 yards out. Harris Good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 63. Harmon 12 with 3:09 remaining in the third quarter. That's the way the third quarter ended with the Raiders leading the Hawks 63-12. Then in that fourth quarter, the 11:24 remaining, Isaiah Rush scored from a yard out, and Frontenac led Harmon 63-18, 11:24 remaining fourth quarter running clock, and that's the final. Frontenac knocks off Hayden by a score of 63-18, and joining me is Frontenac coach Mark Smith. 63-18 win, and this was one of those you had to be on the edge a little this week after knowing you're going to have a long trip. You looked on the video; they had some talented kids. They were young and been struggling, but it's one of those trap games. And boy, the kids came out early and often and got the big lead. And I guess that's probably a load off your mind, isn't it?
We got off to a great start, and they had such poor field position because of our kickoff team, and we kept getting the ball inside their 20, 30-yard line because of turnovers and everything, and we just kept scoring real quick and kind of ballooned on them. But I thought our offense was very crisp in that first quarter. Our guys who had the ball ran hard, made plays with it. I thought our defense got us the ball. Special teams was good, so it was a really good start after a long road trip, and it was good to see.
And, we were talking about this, took the place of that home game against Southeast. And earlier in the week we were talking, that's a long trip against a bigger foe, and you don't know much about them. But in the long run, it's a good experience for them.
Oh, it is. Like a long road trip like this, hopefully we have to make a long road trip in the playoffs sometime. That means we're past that first round, and just getting a long road trip, seeing how the kids responded to it. This is a new environment for us, so it was good to play a new team. I thought our kids came out with some energy. I told them on the road you got to make your own energy, and I thought they did that in the first quarter. We were very positive, and I thought we were pretty physical as well.
Yeah, and pretty nice. You got a lot of kids on the field. I guess you probably got all of them on the field, I'm guessing.
I think we got them all, yeah. The young guys played pretty hard. They had some really good athletes out wide, and they kept throwing it to them, but we were competing. We got that running clock in the second half, but we got everybody in, and they kept competing, which is great to see.
And also that's, a coach's decision there when you're going to put those starters back in there, if you are in the second half. And I know you want to probably get them off that bench at least once for each side of the football, and just to get them in a routine. But oftentimes that's a pretty tough call.
It wasn't the plan to put them back in, but I thought we were going to have a running clock for the whole second half, but I guess we didn't. They didn't decide to, so they scored.
Southern was politicking up here. I thought he got outvoted somehow.
Well, he said it to start the half, so I was real happy about it, and then it wasn't happening, and then they went down and scored. So we got to go score twice so we can get it going. So our kids responded, got a good play there, and defense got the safety and got another score by Kyle Kubler. So it was good to see.
And, of course, next Friday, Labette County, the Grizzlies come to town. That's going to be a big one. You had a game over at Altamont last year that played well, and I know they're looking forward to that.
They're going to be a very good team. They've been playing very well. They go 2 platoons, so they're going to be very fresh on both sides of the ball. They got a good quarterback, running back, receivers. a lot of experience from last year. I know we beat them last year, but they're going to be coming in motivated. They got a big win tonight over Fort Scott, I see. So they're going to be full of confidence, so we're going to have to play very well next week.
What about health-wise?
I think we have a few nicks. I'm hoping Hayden's nothing serious, and I think we'll be good to go for next week.
Okay, sounds good. Appreciate you coming up here. That's Frontenac coach Mark Smith. The Raiders win at 63-18 to go to 3-2 on the season. Again, Friday play host to Labette County, and of course you hear those games, all of Frontenac's games on 103.5 FM, and also stream live at ESPN1007.com. So that should do it as the Raiders home win or travel to Kansas City, knock off Harmon 63-18. Thanks to Taylor back at the station, board op. Of course, Randy Southard with his color. And Frontenac wins at 63-18. You've been listening to Frontenac football on 103.5 FM.
After 3 decades in business, Bittner Motors of Pittsburgh remains a local favorite. If you're in the market for a quality pre-owned vehicle, Bittner Motors has a large selection of late model, low mileage vehicles to choose from. Whether it be a car, truck, or SUV, Bittner Motors will warranty all their vehicles 100% for parts and service. And if you can't find what you're looking for on the lot, they will find it for you. Bittner Motors, 1018 North Broadway, Pittsburgh.